Welcome to the It Doesn't Hold Up podcast. We review and reevaluate all things we remember fondly from our childhood and years prior to see if they still hold up, and more often than not, they probably don't. I'm Stuart Shepherd, along with my co-host and good friend Michael Smith. Smith, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you, Stu. How are you?
Well, I'm rather warm, Smith. I'm starting to
You
regret
look
wearing this
warm.
Parker coat. Yes, yes, and that's
I
not a
mean,
funny
it's
quip. If you're watching on YouTube, you can actually see I'm wearing a Parker coat in the
yes,
spring.
they can. It's a bold coat choice for April.
Yes, it is. We'll see how long I last wearing this coat for this
It's the wrong
podcast.
colour
But
as
yeah,
well.
yes, I know.
That's
Well,
more like the one from the Thing.
oh yeah, that would have been
You
a
just
better
need
film
you
to
just need
go.
I mean, I would always say the Thing is a better film for the cover, to given that it's my favourite film. So yeah,
Yeah, so it pretty much would hold up, wouldn't it?
yeah, well, it definitely does.
There you go.
That's it.
Right,
That's that sparkling banter.
indeed. Right, well, before we start talking about Parker Coat Delight, just want to plug a few things and talk about.
That was what the original title of the film was, Parker Coat Delight. And they're like, yeah, I don't really think this makes a lot of sense. Parker Coat Delight. Do 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 do.
There's a lot of Parker coats in this film, though, I must say.
Too many. I don't think that many
Too
people own
many.
Parker coats.
No, not in the summer when this film is set. But anyway, right. Anyway, before we get on to said nomination, a few things I want to just talk about. So I want to apologise for the really shit sound quality for our last episode. So I have a new laptop, hadn't configured my microphone. Apparently, it was set to phone call quality. Phone call quality? That's like an old, those star phone conferences that used to get in offices. The quality was awful, but that's what my microphone was set to. I've now changed it to HD DVD quality, so hopefully this will be a lot better. So yes, if you're listening to or watching My Girl, the sound quality was very bad. I hope it's not going to be on this episode. So there we
Mine
go.
is set to irascible bastard quality like it normally is.
I mean, you sounded fine, very elegant. The voice of an
Oh,
angel.
oh, darling, thank you. I've trained. I have trained. I was doing my vocal warm-ups before the show. Me,
As
me,
you
me, me,
should.
me, me.
Yeah. Bumblebee, bumblebee.
My
All right.
mummy makes me mash my M&Ms.
Is that an illiterate thing? I don't
That
know.
that that is that is that's a little insider joke.
Right, right, okay. Right, so I want to talk about the last episode's feedback, which was My Girl. Now, we got a ton of feedback. A lot of it was very repetitive, but I'll read it out in no particular order. I'd completely forgotten most of this film, apart from the death at the end. From the sounds of it, I won't be watching this again. Oh man, it still gets me upset thinking about the eyeglasses line. Then somebody separately put, "Where are his glasses? He can't see without his glasses." And my favourite one was, "Oh no, not the bees, not the bees." So the only feedback we got is pretty much Thomas J dying.
Base. Thousands of Africa killer base.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. Did you get any subsequent feedback from my girl?
The only comment that I had was that people were very surprised that it was a complete 180 flip of you liking it, then not liking it, and me not liking it, then liking it.
Yeah, we like to surprise our audience. There
Well,
you go.
I like to surprise my girlfriend.
Yeah,
No, not like that.
no, no, no. Did she like it, by the way? You never said.
She did. She did.
Okay,
She did.
there you go. There you go.
I can't remember if I mentioned this on the last one, but I knew that Thomas J died.
Oh yeah, yeah,
She did not. She was in floods of tears at the end.
yeah. My wife has seen this, but it still didn't stop her crying when she watched it as well.
I've never knowingly cried, so
There you go. Ever or just in this film?
ever.
Ever, ever. Right.
I don't think I'm capable of it. I think actually all of my weight is water weight, but it's not like retained water. It's just tears. I'm
Oh, I
filling up
see.
from the inside like a giant water balloon full of tears because the sadness, Stu, it's inside.
That'd be a really shit superpower, wouldn't
What?
it?
To
Just
hold the
crying.
sadness inside.
Anyway,
Oh God.
and right, moving on. A few more things to plug. Was Smith and I were actually guests on Flix Watcher podcast. So we'd been on there before covering Beetlejuice. This time we were covering The Net.
And
And
that's a good film.
yeah, as you can imagine, that did not hold up. We had all sorts of fun tearing that to shreds. Oh, that was good fun. So yeah, do check us out. We're on Flix Watcher podcast. They're available on audio, all places where you find podcasts, so Apple, Spotify, and all stuff like that. And the biggest plug for this week was Smith was on a
Hello.
game show this week.
I was.
He was on Pointless on BBC One here in the UK, and well, I won't spoil it. Go and check it out on iPlayer. I'm very proud of him and his performance.
Thank you. The episode from the 15th of April 2025, recorded in December 2023.
It's madness.
Right.
Mad. How many of those do they have in the can? That's just incredible.
Oh God only knows. Loads, I would imagine.
Yeah, well, there you go. But no, if you can access BBC iPlayer or if you don't get VPN, please do watch it. It was a really, really good episode, and I had a lot of fun watching it. So well done, Smith. Clap, clap, clap.
Oh, get away.
Right, moving on, moving on. Let's talk about what we're really here for, Parker Codes. So, this episode's nomination came from Smith himself, and it's
Mm.
Urban Legend from 1998. Brief synopsis, it's about a killer on a university campus who starts hunting down a group of friends, killing them by urban legends. And yeah, that's pretty
Kind
much
of.
all it's about. Kinda, some of them are bullshit, but yeah,
Killing them by urban legends when when it is convenient for the plot. Not
exactly,
killing them by urban legends when it isn't.
exactly. Now, this came out in the States in September 1998. We didn't get this until February 1999. So, for the base of this, I think we'll do. Actually, what are we doing, Smith? Are we doing any scene setting? Because we've done 98 before, we've done 99 before. What are we doing?
No, I thought we'd just have a general nice little bit of a chit chat about slasher films. Seeing as this is the
Oh,
first slasher film that we've covered proper, which I don't count Scary Movie because it's
no.
rubbish. Um, I wanted to get your views, Stu, on what your top five slasher films are. Now, this is obviously going to be quite contentious, and
Mm,
there are hundreds and hundreds of slasher films from the slasher boom of the 80s and beyond,
mhm.
subsequent post Scream in the 90s. So I think you ask anybody, and I think you'd probably come up with a different top five. Anyone that likes slash films in particular. Now, I have a particular fondness for slash films, and I've seen quite a lot.
Me too.
Um, I think I could probably predict the top three,
Interesting.
but I should write them down. I should write down on a bit of paper.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to write down a bit of paper and see if I can correctly predict your top three.
Cool.
Um,
All right, as you're doing that, just a bit of context, because if you're talking about slashers, you've actually got subcategories of slasher, because you've got slasher, you've got post slasher, you've got
mhm,
neo slasher, and you've got
mhm.
grand slasher. I know, because I studied that at uni. So it depends. Are we talking pure slashers or anything that falls within those subcategories as well?
Will explain this subcategory to me? I did not study this. My degree in film studies did not cover slashers, rather annoyingly.
Yeah, we cover what I can't remember what module it was I covered. But anyway, one week we did slashers. So slashers in its purest form would
Hmm.
be stuff from the 80s. So that would be Friday the 13th, Halloween, that sort of stuff. Post slasher is stuff like Nightmare on Elm Street, where the
Hmm.
killer is supernatural. So it's like Candyman or Freddy or that sort of thing. Then you've got
Right.
neo slasher, which is
Yep.
like Scream. It's all referential about
Postmodern.
pre postmodern, and then you've got grand slasher, which is stuff like Final Destination, where it's like an unseen force is killing people.
Oh,
Yeah,
see, now I would I have considered Final Destination a slasher film?
I wouldn't have until that was pointed out to me.
No, I wouldn't have. Okay, let's remove grand slasher.
Okay, so you can have normal, post, and neo.
Yeah, because I think I would group those. They have the same base
Hmm.
elements generally of group of teens getting picked off one by one.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go with that. What about? I mean, where would you say slasher start? Because I know Halloween is
Ah,
often held up as the first, but it's not.
that was my next thing because technically Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a slasher. It's not. It's not considered a slasher, but technically is. It's got the same format that slashers have.
Mm. I
And if
would
you
consider that a slasher.
and then if you
I
really
would
want to be
consider.
pedantic, even Psycho could be considered a slasher.
Yes, it could, as could
Yeah,
Peeping Tom, the
indeed.
Michael Powell film. What
Right.
about Black Christmas? When did that go?
Yes. Yeah, that's definitely a slasher.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that film. Right. Okay. Anyway, quite enough
Right.
of that. So
Anyway.
we've got our rules as
Okay.
loose as they are. So top five. You can start. It may be in no particular order unless you want to
Yeah,
put
no
them in
particular order.
particular
Right.
order.
So
No particular order.
I'll take the three that are definitely proper slashers. So that will
Yep.
be my favourite ones. Is Friday the 13th Part 3. Love that
Yep.
one because it's in 3D.
Hmm.
The original Halloween.
Hmm.
And if I'm allowed, oh no, it wasn't a normal. It's Scream, the original Scream. Even though
Ah.
that's neo slasher. So they're my three. Now, if
Right.
I've got to add two more, I would
Mm.
add the Texas Chainsaw Massacre to that.
Hmm.
And oh god, what I had the other one? God, there are so many slasher movies, isn't there? It's not this one. It's not Urban Legend. Um, if I'm allowed it, I'd probably throw Psycho in there.
Psycho. Okay.
If I'm allowed to. If I'm allowed
I
to.
don't think Psycho's a slasher. I mean,
Okay, actually,
there might be slasher fans or horror fans out there screaming at me for saying this, but I don't
oh, what
necessarily
about?
think that it is.
All right, take Psycho out. What about Child's Play? Am I allowed to put that in there? Is that a slasher?
Yes. Yeah, you can put
There,
Child's
there
Play
you
in there.
go. Right, so Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
Yep. I've shit
Child's
the bed
Play.
on this prediction, by the way.
Don't worry. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Child's Play, Friday the 13th Part 3, Scream, and the original Halloween. That'd be my
Right. Okay.
favorite
So the
slasher.
three I had.
Hmm.
See that there?
No, I can't. They just
No, you
read them
can't read
out.
that. It's all blurry. Right.
Yeah.
Halloween. So that
Yep.
one I got right.
Tick.
Friday the 13th. Didn't say part three.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's fine. Same camp. Yep.
And Nightmare.
I didn't say Nightmare, did I?
No, you didn't say Nightmare on Elm Street. I thought you might.
Fuck. I'd take Child's Play out. Nightmare. Yeah, Nightmare.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
I also figured you might put Hellraiser in there,
No,
but
that's
I
not a
don't know if
slasher.
that's no. See,
That's
I
not
didn't
a
think it was
slasher.
either. I would have debated you with that one.
No.
Right. Oh,
Yeah, your
so
turn. Or shall I
my turn.
predict a couple in my head?
Go
Right,
on.
if I right, so you do
How contrary do you think I'm going to be here?
quiet. All right, I think I might have five. So, but
Oh, we might have
but
five.
I might
Right,
doesn't
right.
mean I've
Oh.
got them right. But yeah, five.
Okay, I'm gonna say my favorite slasher films are, in no particular order,
Yes.
the original Halloween.
Tick.
You have to have the original Halloween. You
Of
can't
course.
not have the original Halloween.
Yep.
Now, I would say Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, but it's not a slasher.
That's definitely not a slasher.
Great film, but it's not a slasher. I would then say Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, The Dream Warriors.
Oh, you tease. There.
It's the best nightmare.
It
It's
is.
the best
It is
nightmare.
really good. It is, but
It's where they got the formula just right.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a partial tick for me because I said
Okay.
Nightmare on Elm Street. Yep.
Yeah. So what have we got here? Black Christmas.
Yes, I knew you'd put that on there. Yep.
Halloween, Black Christmas, Friday, Nightmare 3.
Mhm.
Now,
You got to have a
do
Friday,
I go?
surely.
Well, you see, I really like Jason X.
Have Jason X then.
But it is shit. And I know
It's
it is.
fun shit.
That's the problem with the Friday films. They are shit. They're all shit. Friday the 13th Part 2.
Okay.
That's I think is the best one. The legitimately the best one. That's 4. And then I'm gonna say Scream.
Ah, damn it.
The
I
original
had a
Scream.
wild card for you. I was going to say like Valentine or something like that. Just something really...
Valentine is absolute toss.
Yeah, it's awful, but it's
It's
kind of fun
awful.
shit.
It's terrible film. Like it doesn't make any sense. I have a soft spot for a lot of these things. Like Jason X got a real soft spot for. I like Terror Train. I think is really good.
Not seen
The
Terror Train.
Jamie Lee Curtis one. Prom Night's terrible.
Yeah, that's not good.
The Sorority Row, the remake, I quite like that.
Mhm.
It's absolutely ridiculous. Jason X is balmy.
It's
Like,
awesome.
It's
It's
really
really good.
watchable. Halloween, it's the first one and then the 2018 one. And apart from that,
H20's all right. It's okay.
H20's, you're right. It's a victim of its time, I think,
Yeah.
because it's very much post Scream. Let's just do Scream.
Mhm.
But anything apart from that, and 3, but 3 doesn't count, is
Yeah.
like 2's,
Yeah.
4,
4 is
5, and 6 are awful.
4 out of the 4, 5, and 6. 4 is the best out of 4, 5, and 6, but it's still not very good.
Yeah, the remakes are absolute toss.
Yeah, rubbish. Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends are rubbish.
Yeah. Whereas Friday, they're all shit, but they're all watchable shit.
Oh,
Except
definitely.
number 5.
I don't know. Even that's kind of like, yes, it's so stupid. I kind of like it. But yeah.
Yeah. Even 8, Jason on a boat.
Oh yeah, Jason on the boat's brilliant. Right then.
Well,
That's
there we
enough.
go.
There
That's
we
our
go. That was
slasher
fun.
chat.
Yeah, that was fun. All right, so back to Urban Legend. How
Oh, yes.
old were we when we first? Well, considering this came out cinema February 1999, that would have been out August September time 1999. That would have been when we could have first watched it properly.
Yeah.
Because we
I
were
know,
way too
almost-
young to watch it at the cinema. So yeah, how old were you when you
Yeah.
watched it?
I mean, I was young, but I saw Screen 3 at the cinema. And that came out in 2000. So I wasn't that much younger.
You were
I
about
definitely didn't
14, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I was 15 when I saw Screen 3.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
I've always looked about 50. The
Sure.
I would have seen it on VHS rental immediately when it came out because I was in that post Scream. Want to consume all of these slashers. I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah.
Scream
we did last
2.
summer. I didn't even put that on there.
Nah,
Yeah.
it's really, really boring.
I'd have put it.
And so this would have just for me fit perfectly into that gap of Saturday night video rental.
Yep.
Get the parents to get it for you. There you go. Job's good.
So that would have been about August, September 1999. You would
Yep,
have watched
we were
it.
all listening to Will Smith Millennium.
Millennium.
Millennium, sorry, by Will Smith. I was all listening to that. Was on the radio. I was watching Urban Legend.
Yeah.
And I was drinking new Coca-Cola.
Or hooch. Yeah.
Oh yes, probably drinking Bud Ice.
Or hooch.
Watching Urban Legend.
Oh no. Yeah. Now, see, I didn't watch this until early 2000. I got a distinct memory of watching it in February 2000, watching it and then going out to my uncle's 40th birthday party. I don't know why I remember shit like this, but I remember watching it, not quite finishing it, and my dad being like, "Come on, we got to go to this party." I mean, not being upset that I had to leave this film halfway through. Like, all right, I'll just watch it when I get back. But yeah, so I would have been 15. No,
Oh
hang
yeah,
on. No, hang on a minute. Yeah, I would have been 15
yeah,
when
yeah,
I watched
15.
it, and you would have been 14.
Yeah, yeah. There,
So there you
thereabouts.
go. That's yeah, and it was a rental. It was a rental, and I think it was on recommendation from you. I think you're like, yeah, you like Scream, didn't you? I was like, yeah, yeah, and you like Scream too? I was like, yeah. I was like, well, you want to watch Urban Legend? I was like, what's it about? And you pitched it to me. I was like, that sounds like Scream, Smith. Yeah, that's why you like it. I went, all right, all right.
I mean,
Oh,
it does sound a lot like Scream. Looks a lot like Scream. Plays a
yeah,
lot like Scream.
yeah, same sort of beats as Scream. Yeah, it might as well just be called Scream. But there
It's
you go.
missing one thing that Scream has, and we'll get to that.
We will get to that. But yeah, all right, cool. Shall we delve into the plot?
This has, if
Yeah,
anything,
it does have a bit of a plot.
too much
Yeah,
plot.
yeah, it does. It does actually have a plot. Some stuff we've covered does not have a plot. This actually does kind of
This
have a
this
plot.
has, as I said, too much plot for its own good.
Cool. All right, well, let's delve into it. So, TriStar. Na, 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 na. The horse jumping over the tree.
Da-da-da-da.
Love it. So straight away we get a title card, and there are so many famous people in this credits, and
Yeah,
also there's so many people who are uncredited in this film as well. But it's just like a who's who in this film.
yeah.
Probably
I've
people
written it
gone back.
down.
Go on,
I've written
who's
down
the
here.
hitter?
The cast is completely stacked for the time. Like it is. Um, oh, I'm not going to run through who's in it. We'll get to them as we get to them. But like, just reading the names, like these are all very famous people.
Really, really famous people. And it is curious one particular person, we'll get to in a minute, why they're not on the credits. Like, why didn't you credit that person, but you credited someone else later on? But anyway,
Mm.
we'll get to it. So Michelle's driving along on a rainy night and she's listening to Sasha Under the Covers uni radio show. And that's Tara Reid is playing Sasha. So she's
Now,
got a uni show that she's
how
broadcasting.
how far do we think the range is on that university radio station?
No, I was
How
thinking
far?
that. Surely it's just for people on campus.
Yeah, it wouldn't be miles out of town. You're not listening to the fucking student radio.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, because later on that uni cop Reese is listening to it in her cop car and stuff. Wait, what? But yeah. Michelle almost crashes off. She decides to put some music on, and then she starts singing to Bonnie Tyler, "Total Eclipse of the Heart," and then specifically emphasizing on "Turn Around." I'm like, oh, just I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing.
And you see, I thought that was quite clever. I thought
Really?
it's a neat little start. Now, well, yeah, and also I would say that digital technology has made travel much safer.
Indeed. Actually, do you know what? I actually like all of this opening sequence. I think it's very well
It's
done.
great.
It is very,
Yeah.
very good. It is good. It's all downhill after that. Anyway, right.
Was that
So,
when she's listening to the radio station as well? There's a bit around the baby aspirin, like replacing the.
yes.
That's the first little urban legend that we get, which apparently is a thing.
But that's a bit of a shit urban legend. It's like, oh, somebody replaced baby aspirin, sorry, birth control pills with baby aspirin. It's like, yeah, and so why is that an urban legend? That probably has happened.
It probably hasn't though. That's the point.
But it
I don't
probably
think
someone
anybody's.
has.
I don't think anybody's. Well, also, have you ever like seen birth control or any medication? In fact, it's in little foil sealed blister packs.
Yeah, I suppose.
How are you getting something out? No, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make a bit of sense if you think about
Unless
it for even
someone
a second.
keeps it in a little pot just for ease and someone's changed it. I don't know, whatever. But yeah, you're right. That is the first urban legend we hear about the baby aspirin and or the aspirin and the birth control pills. But there you go.
Yeah.
Suddenly that petrol gauge decides to rapidly deplete. And then, but there's no problem. There's a really dodgy looking petrol mechanic garage nearby. So she's like, "Oh, please let me make it. Please let me make it." It's like, even if you didn't, you could just push the car there or ask for some help, and they could bring it there.
She's gone
Uh,
past that big, nice, bright one.
yeah, exactly. And she ended up the shitty one instead. And you know, wouldn't you? You go on a long journey or whatever. You know, you ain't got much petrol left.
Hmm.
Um, at this point, we meet an uncredited Brad Dourif. I was like, why isn't he credited? He's got quite a big role in this opening bit. Why isn't he credited? Doesn't make any sense.
I think it's just like a little Easter egg nod to the
Yeah,
fans of horror
okay.
films, right? That's why it's there.
Yeah, okay. Because
Um,
they name Robert Englund when he comes up later, but yeah, because it's and Robert Englund in the
Also,
credits.
I find it so strange when they go to that, and this is, I mean, I apologize, and I don't know if it happens anymore. It certainly didn't happen when I
Mhm.
was in America, uh, 2 years ago. Um, Parking and honking the horn so someone can come and pump your gas for you, you lazy fucking American.
Well, it is raining as well, so she's probably being a bit entitled.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that
also
does.
when he comes over to the car, she just keeps the windscreen wipers on. It's like he's standing right there.
He's gonna get
You're like,
soaking, isn't he? Yeah, and we're made to believe because Brad Dourif has a stutter, he's a lunatic. I was like, yes, everyone with a stutter is naturally a lunatic.
Checks out.
Yeah,
I mean, how many times has a stutter inadvertently caused the catastrophe because the person can't just get their words out?
exactly. Exactly. If only you could speak. But he seems startled as he's filling up the car. I was like, what's this guy's deal? And then he goes off and then comes back and he asks Michelle to come inside as there's a problem with her credit card and they're on the phone. I was like, that's actually not a bad excuse to get away from that
No.
situation, which I thought was
Is it
pretty good.
is it not the credit card company on the phone? Not fucking likely. Never pick up the bloody phone. Be on hold
Yeah,
for
yeah,
40
exactly.
minutes.
Exactly. Michelle comes inside and Brad Dourif locks the door, and then there's nobody on the phone. He's like beep 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 beep, and then she's like, "Oh, this guy must be a lunatic," and then she maces him in the face, and then breaks out in the garage. At this point, when he gets maced in the face, he sounds exactly like Chucky. He's like, and he just sounds exactly like him.
I mean,
Poor Brad
I mean,
Dourif.
I was going back and forth on this because I was watching it. I was like, is she overreacting? It's like, well, no, because if she thinks he's trapped her
Yeah, exactly.
in a garage, I don't think she is overreacting, and he's not able to communicate to her. So the whole thing is really effective. This opening
Yeah, it is
sequence.
good. It is good. It is pretty bad that again because he's got a stutter. She assumes he's got something wrong with him. I was like, but he owns this garage as well. So I'm like, why would he attack him if it's his own garage? Unless he's pretending it's his garage or something like that. I don't know. Whatever.
Also, Natalie Gregson Wagner is the daughter of Robert Wagner and Natalie Wood. Um, and so she's filling the Drew Barrymore, slightly more
Yeah.
well-known person who dies first role.
Spoiler alert, Smith. But yeah.
It's a slasher film, Stu.
I know. I know. I know.
Everybody we mention, apart from maybe two, are going to die.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, she manages to get back into her car and start it up, and he's all like, "No, don't go, don't go." And then finally gets to speak properly. He goes like, "There's someone on the back seat," and I was like, "Oh, that's so good! It's so good." And then very, very slowly, you see that dreaded Parker coat wearing killer, and it decapitates her with an axe. It's fucking great. That whole opening sequence is fantastic. I'll give that film that. It's very, very good.
I have two problems here. One, how long was the killer in the backseat for
Yeah.
without being noticed?
And at what point did the killer get in? Because even if might stuff be like you can hear him breathing or coughing or shuffling
Yeah,
about or something
yeah,
like
like,
that. Yeah.
oh, 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 Jesus! It's like, right,
Yeah.
I am
Oh,
not the most
fine.
observant. Oh God, I shouldn't have had the burrito. Oh, refried beans. Um, like I don't know. Like when I get into a car, I don't know about you. I don't necessarily look in the back seat to see if there's anybody hiding there with an axe. Maybe I should. I don't know. I'm not that cautious.
Yeah.
But I can see the back seat as I get in. I
Yeah.
can see if there's someone hiding there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, why the fuck would you decapitate someone with an axe whilst they are driving?
Ah, yeah, that'd be really hard to do that, wouldn't it?
Because they're going to crash.
Oh, yes. Yes, that's
And
true.
you're in the fucking car.
Yeah, that's true.
He's
I
the
didn't think about that.
Also, I do know the fact that she's driving along, she notices the axe swings, and then you cut to the outside of the car, the window goes out, the car is clearly no longer moving.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And also, would the head have gone out with her, or would you reckon the axe would have just
No,
cut
I
through and
think
the head would have fallen the other way?
no, yeah, the head would have gone the other way because the force would have pushed it out. I
Yeah,
don't think it
okay.
would have, yeah.
Okay. Well, it's very cool anyway. It's a very cool
Not that
open.
I've ever decapitated one or several people.
Sure you haven't.
Yeah. I mean,
Right.
that's legally binding. I've not
Yeah.
done it. I've just said that there. That is evidence.
Yeah. And we've got this recorded, so yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's on tape.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
would I lie?
Exactly.
Hmm?
Right, anyway, so we move forward and we're at Pendleton University and we're with Sasha on her radio station that we heard earlier and with her assistant who's got his shirt open and a very seedy man. I was like, why has this man got his shirt open?
Got that written there. Why is this man not wearing a shirt? What is he doing?
No, I know this is a bit of a sexy show that Sasha's running because it's called Under the Covers, but why does this man have to have no shirt on? People can't see this.
I don't believe that any university radio station would sign off on this show. Yeah. Talk about what you want.
Yeah, it's not even like it's a talk show talking about safe sex. It's people phoning up talking about stupid shit they've done and Sasha laughing about it. It's really, really inappropriate.
Providing no advice.
No advice whatsoever. And this particular person is called Felicia, and she's called in asking for advice after she's performed oral sex on someone and she swallowed the residue. And I put down Felicia, more like Fellatio. Am I right?
Felicia. Hey.
I think it probably was deliberate anyway.
Yeah, almost certainly.
Yeah, and then Sasha starts being really obnoxious. She's like pretending like to wank off the microphone and that sort of thing. And yeah, I'm saying this will be the characters for the rest of the film, just all obnoxious shit. Everyone
Well, see,
is a real obnoxious bastard in this
this
film.
is the thing. This is the thing which that Scream has that this doesn't. Characters you actually give a toss about because they're not
Exactly.
likable. Like this mistake that slasher films start to make around this time is making everybody horrendous, so you don't care when they die. It's like, no, no, I want to care when they die. I want to feel a sense of jeopardy. Now, to be fair, Tara Reid, as oversexed as she is not the most obnoxious character in this
No, she's
film.
not. She's
She's
absolutely not.
she's basically one of the likable ones.
Yeah, just a bit
The men
obnoxious this
are
scene.
all terrible.
Oh yes, and we'll get to some of the really terrible ones in a minute. So during this, we cut to the uni cafe and we meet Natalie, Parker, and Brenda, and then in comes Paul, Jared Leto. Jared Leto, what are you doing in this toss? What are you doing in this film? You're better than this,
I mean,
Jared Leto.
he's not much better than this. And fun fact, he has disowned this film.
I don't blame him. So yeah,
Does not like
uh,
talking about it in interviews, but then who would? Who'd like talking about a film you did like 30 years ago in an interview?
I wouldn't
Any
mind. You've
worse?
got to start
Well, ask me about
somewhere,
that.
haven't you? Yeah, but
Well,
it's like Courtney Cox has famously disowned Masters of the Universe. Like, yeah, but who cares? You've all got to start somewhere. What does it matter? You can say, yeah, I did do some
Michael
crap when I'm younger, but I've done a lot better since.
Michael Rosenbaum, who's Parker, is acting with a capital fucking A here. Like he is really going for it.
Oh, this guy's a dick. He really
He
annoyed
is,
me in
yeah,
this.
he's really going. But that's his whole character. Is he's a dick.
He's a
He
dick.
actually. It's one of those weird things when I remember seeing this film. I remember people having much bigger parts than they did. I knew Joshua Jackson doesn't make it very far, but I
Mm,
remember Parker having a big part. He really doesn't. He's barely
no,
in the fucking thing.
hardly any of them are really, apart from like the two girls, really, when you think about it. But
Yeah.
yeah, so Obnoxious Parker is telling a story of Stanley Hall, and it's where a professor on campus 25 years ago went berserk, went to Stanley Hall, and he killed all his students and then killed himself. And then there's a frat party every year to celebrate. It's like, that's just in poor taste. Why would there be a
But
party to celebrate a massacre at the uni?
but it's an urban legend. So did it happen? Did it not happen? This is where I start saying that this film has too much plot. The whole Stanley
Right.
Hall thing is like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah. And we'll come to more Stanley Hall in a bit because there's a scene that doesn't make any sense.
No,
Uh, yeah. And then Jared
just the
Leto,
one.
Paul, he poo-poos this is that story's just an urban legend, and Brenda fancies Paul and wants to ask him out, but hasn't done for some reason. Don't know why. And then yes, so Brenda and Natalie go to Stanley Hall, which is all boarded up, and I've written down, why is it all boarded up? Like if something bad really had happened here, why didn't they just demolish it or rebuild it? Why is it just all fucking boarded up?
Or what you would actually do, which is clean it up, repaint it, and just open it again.
Exactly, that's what I'm
You
saying.
don't board it up for like 30 years. What are you playing at? Um,
Yeah.
you missed a bit before that. Just as that last scene ends and Jared Leto runs off like with a beeper. He gets his beeper out. It's like, the fuck what's the point of a beeper? It's like something between nothing and a mobile phone. A beeper to tell you that you've got a call.
I
Um,
know.
and then he runs
Text
off saying
message,
something
would
like,
it?
"Oh, yeah, well, that would have won me the student Pulitzer." It's like, indeed, the student Pulitzer. Shut up.
Yeah, and Parker gives him like $5 to go get a burger or something. Like, wait, what? Like, there's just a lot of weird shit in this, but yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot of dialogue. You're like,
okay.
okay, you're just passing the time, aren't you?
Yeah. Anyway, back at Stanley Hall, Natalie and Brenda start saying Bloody Mary in front of us. Like, no, hang on a minute. You got to do that in
Like,
front of a
man,
mirror. You
yeah,
can't just do that in front of a boarded up old building. That
no, it
doesn't make
works.
sense. Cowards.
No, it's not how it works at all.
No, and also this is very Candyman. Yeah, then this bit is not explained. They start hearing some really weird screams inside, and they start getting all startled, and then they're jump scared by Damon, who's Joshua Jackson, and it's never explored again where the screams were coming from. Like, what was
Yeah,
the point of all that?
are we meant to assume that it was him doing it,
No, because they were
and he
women's
was throwing?
screams.
But I assumed it was him. Like he was like joking with them. But I was like, how the hell did he throw his voice?
Well, okay, well, if it was him, yeah, that makes no sense. And if it wasn't him, that also makes no sense. By the
Now,
way, it doesn't make any sense.
given that this house is where the ending takes place, you might have cut to somebody tied up in there, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe if Michelle hadn't been dead yet, she's just been kept there that whole time, it could have been her
Yeah,
or something like
you
that.
could cut to somebody tied up. Anyway, anyway.
Anyway, we're splitting hairs. But yes, so they get
Yep.
jump scared by Joshua Jackson, and he's a real obnoxious shit. Probably the worst out of all of them. Just a real piece of shit. Yeah,
Yeah, he really is.
yeah.
That bleach blonde hair isn't helping him
No,
at all.
I mean, I don't like Joshua Jackson in anything, to be fair. Even in Dawson's Creek, he was a bell end. So, yeah.
Dawson's Creek was shit, mate.
Yeah, it was, but he wasn't the best thing in it by a country mile. But yeah, there you go.
Mm.
Then we get a jump scare from a creepy janitor. I've put, yes, let's set up all the weirdos early on so we can suspect them later on as being the killer.
I put creepy janitor is creepy, and between him and the guy that works in the gas station, everyone who works in the service industry is weird and shouldn't
Yeah,
be trusted.
absolutely.
Janitors, gas station attendants, bus drivers, they're all weird.
Absolutely. Then we get back to the shared room, which Natalie shares with goth roommate Tosh. She's making sex with some other goth, and then switches off the light so she can
Oh,
sleep. And I'm like, look, shared rooms are fucking weird.
weird,
Why do
weird.
people do that at uni? It's all right if you're
Yeah.
there with your mate, but maybe not even then.
Even it's worse. It's worse, mate. Like 19, I wouldn't want to share a room with you.
But you know what? Even
I
if
don't
it
want to
is,
walk back and catch you on a job.
but you know, it's not even on the job. Like, I wouldn't want to sleep in a room with somebody else, and it's really close proximity as well. It's not like when you share a room with your brother when you were kids or some shit. Like you're
Or like on a
adults.
sleepover. Yeah, you're a grown
Yeah.
adult.
No, it's really weird. But yeah, Tosh is having it off for some other goth, and then Natalie puts on her music to sleep. Oh, that's just no. That's really
No,
disrespectful. It's really rude. Don't do that.
Tosh,
I
of
would have
course,
just,
they're
I would have
played by
left. I would have just left. I'll come back when they're done, innit?
Tosh, of course, played by Danielle Harris of
Yes, horror legend.
Halloween 4 and 5, and the remakes fame.
And Stakeland. Very good film.
Oh, she's in Stakeland. Yeah, she was
Yeah.
Jamie Lloyd in the originals and then Annie Brackett in the remakes.
Yeah. There you
Um,
go.
who her dad was played by Brad Dourif.
Yeah. There's so many connections in all these movies.
So many connections in horror films because once you get into horror, you've got work for life.
Yeah, you ain't leaving. Next day, it's Robert Englund that I've written down. Yeah! It's so nice to see Robert Englund in a non-Freddy role. It's really good.
Yeah.
He's playing Professor Wexler, and all of the students are part of his folklore course. Every single one of these students, they don't have separate, oh, I'm taking science, I'm taking maths. No, they're all taking folklore for some reason.
Yep. The green folklore is really going to get you far.
Yeah. And he's giving a lecture on urban legends for some reason. And
Wow.
he's telling a tale of a stranger calls essentially about the babysitter and the kids upstairs
That's
and
what
all
I've
that
written
sort
there
of
is
thing.
like, is it an urban legend or is it the movie Stranger Calls?
Well, I forgot to mention this at the start. Perhaps I'll mention at the end about what I love about this. I used to love these stories when I was a kid. In the
Oh
playground,
yeah.
there would always
Yeah,
be,
yeah, yeah,
oh,
yeah.
did you hear that one about this? Did you hear that one about that? And the Have You Checked the Children one, I always remember hearing that as an urban legend, but it was
Hmm.
probably because someone had seen that movie and it got passed down, blah, 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 that sort of thing. But yeah, I used to love hearing all those stories when I was a kid and shitting your mates up, telling them a new one.
But unlike these mooks, I never believed any of them were real.
Oh, I did. I did.
Oh, you mook.
Well, when you're
I,
8 years old and someone tells you a story, of course you're going to kind of believe it.
no, it's
Well,
just
anyway,
it's a scary story. Anyway,
it's
by the way, the film of Stranger Calls is shit.
yeah, it's not very good. And then they
A great
remade it.
opening 10 minutes, and it's not good.
No. Yeah, and then he offers anyone to take part in an urban legend of drinking soda and eating popping candy, which Brenda
This
is.
film is sponsored by Pepsi.
Oh yes, there's a lot of Pepsi in this. There is a
There's a
lot
lot.
of Pepsi.
They're handing the can over with the logo clearly visible.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, there
It's the
is.
taste of a new generation.
Yes. Oh no, these popping candy are called Pop Rocks. I've never heard of Pop Rocks, but yeah.
That's just what the Americans call them.
Oh, okay, right, yeah. So he gives Brenda the popping candy. She eats it. But oh, have some soda with it. He goes, no, I'm not doing that because some little kid died years ago. He went, no, that's bullshit. That person's alive. And he'll go and drink some. He's like, no, I'm not going to do it. But then Damon does it, pretends to die. It's a big old, but he's faking it. I was like,
It's not
you
a
would,
big old because even with the shrieking music over the top, it's like, how is a room full of grown adults this fucking gullible?
and also
Even
when he
even
got in
Robert
trouble
Englund
for
looks
that.
unimpressed.
Yeah,
Well,
that's what I mean.
Robert Englund looks very unimpressed.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Even Wexler went, oh, you mean the actor? He's very unimpressed, right? No, if I was
No,
Wexler,
the character.
no, but the character would be like, right, get out. You're not coming back to my lectures again. You're not causing a scene like that again.
Well, especially because he grabs him as he falls over.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
fuck off, you little
Don't
prick.
touch me. Yeah. Then we get outside the lecture, and newspapers are reporting about a lunatic on campus. Now, I question this. Why is there a lunatic on campus? Did Michelle go to this uni? Because there's a big
Yes,
reveal later on. All right, she went to
I
this
believe
uni.
she went to this uni conveniently, but she didn't get killed on campus. She got killed
Exactly.
far away. I also love the title, like in huge big letters: "Lunatic on campus."
Yeah. So,
Student Pulitzer.
yeah, and I have many more questions that will come up later when we hear more details about this. Um, yeah, so we see security guard Reese for some reason. He's stopping the students reading these, and I've written down why.
I've written down here: sassy black police character, as was the style of the time.
Yes, it's rather racist. We learn that Paul was wrote this story, and he starts protesting to Dean Adams and Reese as they're taking away the papers. But even Natalie's a bit of Paul that Paul has written this as well. So yeah. Oh
Right.
yeah, this is the bit I
Stuffy old Dean.
stuffy. Yeah, he written down later on. Stuffy old Dean. He's the epitome of a stuffy old Dean.
He's Baron Munchausen from The Adventures of Baron Munchausen.
I knew I'd seen that dude somewhere. That's where he's from.
John Neville, yeah.
Yeah. But here he's playing a stuffy old Dean. Oh, I'd like to take some starch out of that shirt. Anyway, then we
Dean.
you've won this one, Dean. Anyway, then we get news footage of the murder that the group are watching, and we learn that Brad Dourif is missing. But why is he missing?
Yeah.
Like, surely he would have just called the cops and told them exactly what happened.
Especially because 2 scenes from now, he's found again.
Exactly. And how have the cops assumed this petrol station has got anything to do with Michelle anyway? Because it's about a mile she drives down the road until she gets decapitated. How have the cops put two and two together that she was there?
CCTV, perhaps?
Maybe. But it doesn't make any sense why Brad Dourif has fled the scene. It makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah. Actually, I didn't even think of that. Yeah, he's miles behind. He was like, well, she's run off. I'd best go call the police and let them know that a woman's probably about to be murdered or abducted. No. Best off because I'm weird and have a stutter and sound suspiciously like the Chucky doll. I should probably leave. Everyone will think I have done this.
Yeah, for plot reason, he's gone missing and on the run. That's the only reason. Yeah.
Well, I hadn't remembered it correctly, and I thought, oh, is he dead? Is like, has the killer gone back and killed
No.
him? So that there's no, it's not even that clever.
No, because later on we're told he's been arrested. But yeah,
Yeah, we're never told
Uh,
he's released. Maybe they kept him in prison.
maybe. Yeah, Sasha tells the group Michelle was listening to her show. She was killed. I've put down, how does she know this? How do they know? She was like,
Because obviously she wasn't. She was listening to Bonnie Tyler.
she said, a friend of mine told me that Michelle was listening to my show. I was probably the last thing she heard. No, it was Bonnie Tyler. And also, how the fuck do you know she was listening to your show? How do you know this?
Maybe she texted a friend going like, oh, I'm just driving out of town. Really love this show.
No, they don't have text, they have pages. Maybe she paged someone just to let you know I'm listening to this show.
Oh.
Oh, she listened to my show. Oh God. And then when they start asking about Michelle, Natalie says she doesn't know Michelle. And I put down, why does she deny this exactly? Because
No,
then later on she's just admitting it.
because he denies it in the most suspicious way possible. Like,
No, I didn't know her. Yeah, at least
Now,
it's
and
horrible in this movie. She's horrible.
she is really quite bad. We will find out in the next scene that she knows her because luckily for us, she listens to her voicemail out loud.
She does. Oh no, and about just before that happens, Damon makes a really obnoxious joke about Michelle being good at giving head. Get it? Giving head? And then the whole shitbag group find this funny. Like,
A woman has died.
Yeah. And all you could do is joke, Damon. Then what happens? Yeah, then we see Gosh Toth. He's on her PC smoking and trying to pick up other goths on a very 1990s looking
On-
PC.
Goth for goth.
Yeah, .net. And also, just in case you hadn't realised, Tosh is on lithium. Just so you know, this film makes it very clear she's on lithium. All right.
It's so weird. It zooms in on the name of the character on the bottle, and I know why from the trivia. But watching it, you're like, oh, I wonder if that'll be a thing. No,
No, nothing is a thing in this film.
no.
Yeah, and then quite right, Natalie's checking voicemails, and one's from her mum saying, "Oh, isn't that sad about Michelle?"
Hmm.
And then Natalie starts looking for an old school book, and look, Natalie and Michelle are friends. Plot twist.
Immediate twist.
Why did we need this?
I mean, and also like, look at them at high school, the oldest looking
Oh my
14-year-old ever.
They're all like in their mid-30s in this film, but yeah,
So it's also like she was in the Spirit Squad. I mean, I don't remember that.
yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Joshua Jackson looks a little bit like Dolph Ziggler, but
I know. And why can't girls in like high school pictures just be normal girls? Why have they all got to be part of the cheerleading squad? Why?
they look at
Anyway.
pictures of us from high school, as it would be. They just see me looking annoyed.
Yeah, looking like freaks. But yeah, right.
Fuck off.
Then Damon arrives at Natalie's room. He's pretending to be a decent dude, and he offers to take Natalie out for a drive rather than go to some frat party. I was like, okay, cool. And then as he's starting up his car, the Dawson's Creek tune comes on. I've written down this was way funnier in Scary Movie. Way funnier.
It's yeah. Don't do that.
No.
Don't in what is ostensibly a serious film. I mean, serious
Yeah.
in inverted commas. Don't break the fourth wall
Yeah,
because
exactly.
it's going to date it real fucking quick. Because we can watch it and go, all right, so, I don't want to wait. It's funny because it was in a Dawson's Creek. But like anyone who comes to watch this now, who's maybe I don't know, 18, is going to be like, right, okay.
They're like, oh, a shit song just came on the radio. Okay. All
He
right.
didn't like that song. That's weird. It's a weird thing to do.
No. It's Scary Movie. It's fucking hilarious, like when that happens. It's really, really funny. Really good. Right. And then they're parked up in the car, and Damon and Natalie are discussing about Michelle again. And he reveals, "Oh, I knew her." I was like, "Right. So why did you deny it earlier?" Makes no sense. And then Damon starts being a real fucking sleaze, pretends his girlfriend had died just so he can score with Natalie, and she punches him. And I've written down, "Good fucking prick." He
Yeah, yeah.
deserved
I mean,
that.
he fucking deserved that. Like he was being a right skeezy bastard. Also, like when they first drove off, he's like, "Oh, do you want something to warm you up?" And she's like, "Yeah, sure." And he gives her a beer. It's that's not the right thing to give her. What are you doing? A
No.
beer,
Why do you
like
give her a
whiskey.
cocoa? I
Whiskey will warm you up. Beer, absolutely fucking not.
don't know. Maybe the beer was warm, but yeah, there you
Oh,
go. Ugh, warm
it's
beer.
it's the worst thing ever.
It is. Damon goes out to take a piss in the woods, as you do, and then he's attacked by that pesky Parker Coke killer with a rope. Then here comes a load of implausible shit.
Let's question how strong this killer is.
Oh my God. And then, yeah, the Parker Coke killer just emerges and trying to attack Natalie, but she locks all the
How
car
did she?
doors.
How did the killer know where they were going to be?
I don't know. None of
There
this
is a
makes
lot.
sense.
There is a lot in this film of people seemingly being able to like teleport
Oh yeah.
or running distances that they've previously driven for 20 minutes in roughly the same time.
Yeah, it's absurd. It's absolutely absurd. So Natalie's in the car, the doors are all locked, something's hitting the roof. What is it? Why, it's Damon, who is somehow very implausibly suspended above the tree and being hung as he's tied
Yeah.
up the car. It's like, how has she hoisted him up there? How?
Oh no, how they don't
How
give
have
it
that?
away.
Sorry.
No, don't spoil the end.
How was
So
the
like,
killer hoisted them up there?
yeah. I mean, what we are to believe is the killer has attacked him, knocked him out, rendered or incapacitated him, thrown a rope around his neck, hoisted him up, then tied the rope round the car.
Yep. And done it just enough so his feet can
Then
scrape
yeah,
on the ceiling.
then he's woken up before he's choked to death,
Yep.
and all in about a minute and a half.
Oh, it gets worse because then, as Natalie tries to drive away, it starts hanging Damon. I've written down good, and then for some reason the killer is on top of the car now and goes flying off. It was like, why was the killer on top of the car? And then Natalie tries to run the killer over, but then the killer gets on the car again for some reason and goes falling off, and then Damon's body crashes through the windshield. So all of this is such bullshit.
Now, as I recall, you've fallen off the front of a moving vehicle before.
Oh yeah,
Now,
it
would you
hurts.
have been able to get up and then run
No,
away?
no, my head was pissing blood and I was all disorientated. Yeah, it was terrible.
Oh Christ, yeah, I remember that. It's just I know.
Yeah, it was really bad.
I didn't.
Fucking
I
hell.
went home.
Yeah, laughed your ass off at my
I
stupidity.
really fucking did. Because you, why did you do it? Anyway,
Oh, I don't know. Anyway,
yeah.
we digress. So anyway, Natalie then runs off. Killer doesn't pursue her, and then back at campus
Natalie runs off all the way back to campus.
where the car has driven them there.
Yeah, when the car has driven them there.
But
How
we don't know
long
how
does
far
that take?
we don't know how far
This,
these woods are because there's a bit later on when they're running through the woods and then they're back at the campus real quick. So we don't know how far away the woods are.
yeah, all right.
But yeah, it is still stupid. Back at campus, Reese is watching an old Pam Grier movie. What one was it? I couldn't work out which one it was.
Having never seen any Pam Grier movies apart from Jackie Brown, I wouldn't be able to tell you.
I have seen Mars Attacks.
Oh yeah, we have seen Mars Attacks
It was
and
probably
Ghosts of
Coffee
Mars.
or something
She's
like
in.
that.
She's in Ghosts of Foxy Brown or Coffee. It'd be one of those
Coffee.
two.
Yeah, yeah. And then yeah, she's quoting along with it with a gun. I was like, why does the campus cop have a gun? That's not safe, is it? Um, and then Natalie goes there all in a state and makes Reese drive out to the woods. But look at that. All the mess of the crime scene has been cleaned up. And come on, really?
Well, now, I think this actually is potentially plausible. If she's run all the way back to campus and it's taken her a solid hour to get there
Fair
and a
enough.
solid half an hour in a car to get back, it gives you a good 90 minutes to stick a body in a boot and drive off.
Well, also later on when we find out where the bodies have been dumped, I'm like, hang on a minute. Like,
That's no one's seen any of this.
yeah, exactly, exactly. Um, so Reese then divulges that the police have already arrested Brad Dourif early. So I was like, so these two events definitely couldn't have been linked. I was like, what? Of course they're bloody linked. And that's the
There's a
last
lot
we.
of that. There's a lot of like convenient explaining away, like, well, he said he was going skiing this weekend, so well, let's just assume that's what he's done, even though
That's
you told
right.
me that he's dead.
Yeah, no, he definitely went skiing. You just imagined all that. So yeah, in fact, yeah, we're back at the coffee shop, and then Parker starts saying, "No, it was a prank. It was Damon. It was a mannequin." It was like a mannequin. No, it wasn't a fucking mannequin. What did a mannequin try to kiss her and she punched a mannequin? Like, no, none of this
He
makes
has a
sense.
mannequin. It's I don't want to know.
Ugh. Oh yeah, then I start making jokes about that. Yeah. Ugh. Um. Oh yeah, then Parker points out that that whole prank, what they think Damon pulled, was an urban legend, and then Natalie starts putting two and two together. Michelle, the axe killing, and that hung
Well,
from the tree, and like these are urban legends, and the killer is copying them. I was like, there's only been
well,
two so far. Why have you put
yeah,
that together so quickly?
you've really jumped it. But also, isn't it Parker says something like, Wexler does it every semester. I'm like, right, I don't understand the class they're in. He does the same lecture every semester, and you've been in more than one of these semesters. How old are you? How many times have you repeated this course? And why are you paying for something where someone repeats the same lecture every semester? Generally, you'd cover different modules.
Well, there is
Why
a
are we doing
joke
the
that
same stuff?
Paul does make a joke, like, how long have you been here? So I don't know whether it's suggesting that Parker's just a dumb shit and just keeps having to keep repeating the same course over and over and over again.
Potentially.
Well, anyway, Parker poo-poos all of that, say, look, it's not true, it's just a prank, blah, 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 blah. Back in Natalie's room, and Toshi's smoking again and trying to score with Goths again. And I've put down, why is she angry? Why is she so angry? Are we made to believe that Goths are always angry? Because that's what that film is telling me. Goths are very, very angry.
I think Goths are always sad.
Yeah, I've met a lot of Goths. I don't remember them being angry. Right.
No.
Yeah, just sad. And kind of cool when you actually get to know them. But anyway, there you go. Then we see Natalie on a payphone, and she's inquiring if Damon has checked into that holiday cabin for his skiing, which doesn't look like he did.
I wonder if he's dead.
Or a big elaborate prank.
Because we've seen him die.
Yeah. Then Natalie goes to the uni library and very conveniently finds a book on urban legends. A very detailed book on urban legends. To be precise, the Encyclopedia of Urban Legends. And this book is about as fat as the Bible.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's like somebody else appears to be in this library. Oh no, who would have thought somebody else is in a library? Oh no, wait, it's just Sasha, and she's found a Kama Sutra book. Because if there's one thing we've learned about this film, Sasha's a little bit dirty.
Yeah. But that's it. That's her one character trait.
She's
She's
a
just
dirty
hanging
killer.
around in the library looking at porn.
She is. Then Natalie and Sasha start reading that very detailed book and stumble across the "Aren't you glad you didn't turn off the light?" legend, but don't make comment on it.
Hmm.
Then they find the boyfriend hung from the tree legend, which has a very convenient drawing that looks like Joshua Jackson. And it's like, why is there so much text? I could have written this urban legend down on the back of a postage stamp. Why is there so much text about this urban legend?
Maybe it's explaining the urban. I don't know, Stu. I think you're giving it too much credit.
Is it like, oh, in this country it's told like this, in this country like that? It actually derived from, but no, what the fuck? Um, then they stumble across that legend where if you flash a car without its lights on, they start racing you. And Sasha says, "Oh, that's definitely true because that happened in my town or whatever." So, yeah, who knows? I kind of believe that is true, though. I imagine people would do that to be a bit of a dickhead.
Um, yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
But
it doesn't mean they
don't
kill
think
you.
it's
They're
a
probably just like just
no.
race
I don't
behind
think it's
you.
a gang initiation thing either. I
Nah,
think
nah,
it's
nah.
teens.
Yeah,
Stupid teens.
yeah. Right. Then there's Tosh again, smoking and looking for goth dick on her computer while smoking. And then suddenly it looks like she's found someone. Hooray! And then another plot twist. Natalie discovers that Damon was the last person to check out that book from the library as his name is written in the library card. And I've written down, remember those kids? And also,
But also, is it meant to be setting him up as a potential
yeah,
suspect? Because we saw
nothing
him
comes
die.
of this.
We saw
Nothing.
him die.
Yeah. And nothing further comes of this. Oh, he was the last
Is
person
it
to check the book out. So?
is it meant to be her like questioning her mental state? Because it doesn't work
It could
because we
be.
saw him die.
Yeah, or is it a red herring? He didn't die, and there's two killers or some bullshit like that. Is that what they're trying to do? I don't know. It just doesn't.
Maybe.
It doesn't go anywhere, right? Uh, Back in Natalie's room, Tosh asks where the goth dude is, and then goes off to the bathroom to make herself look more hot, apparently. And
Comes
during
back
all,
looking exactly the
exactly
same.
the same, yeah. During all this time, Natalie's on her way back to the room, and then Tosh, before she left the room, said, "Where are you?" And it looks like the killer on their computer, presumably somebody else has written in your room. They've probably gone, they run down to the room.
They've got their beeper out and gone in yours.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I, this whole goth thing is a bit odd because how many goth are there on campus, and you think they'd all know each other?
Yeah, on goth.net. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you'd all be on campus going like, how many goths are there? 6. Right.
Yeah, surely she's fucked them all by now. Yeah, no, you're quite right. Unless it isn't on campus and it's just people in the neighbourhood, but I'm like to believe no, it's probably just on campus, isn't it? There you go. Yeah, Tosh has seen that the killer is in your room, and there's a big old scuffle, and the killer starts attacking Tosh, and then manages to turn off the laptop and pull off the lights just as Natalie's entered the rooms. But she's like, oh no, she's having it off again, so averts her eyes. None of this would have happened.
No, never looks in any way at what's actually happening.
No. She goes to bed with her earphones on as poor Tosh is being strangled to death, presumably making sex noises. I'm like,
The noises she were making were not sex noises. Now, I haven't killed multiple people. I haven't. Again, for the record, I haven't done that. Um, but I know somehow sex noises and strangling noises are completely different.
No, goths have weird sex apparently. So yeah, that's what we're made to believe. Oh dear. Right. Next morning, there's blood everywhere, which is weird because he just strangled her. Oh no, no, he's cut her wrist, hasn't he? And then Tosh is dead, and written on the walls is, "Aren't you glad you didn't turn on the light?" So it's the next morning, and the paramedics arrive, and some bitchy girl makes a really nasty comment. Like, does she say something like,
Mm.
"Didn't she always look that bad?" Or it's something horrible like that. I
Yeah,
was like,
check her pulse. She's looked like that for 3 years.
oh, there's no need for that.
Yeah, it's awful. Also, this image like, oh, did she have manic depression? She was like, well, yeah, she painted her room black. It's like, ah, yes, classic manic depressive behavior.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute when the stuffy old Dean's talking about stuff.
Stuffy old Dean.
Stuff, take some starch out of that shirt. And then Brenda greets Paul. He really isn't a talker. He goes, "Hi, Paul." He's like, yeah, it's really fucking funny.
Hi.
So they discuss Natalie at a distance, and she's talking to that crusty old Dean and Reese. And then, yeah, the crusty old Dean doesn't understand how Natalie didn't see anything. Fair point. And then, yeah, he makes reference to her taking medication and being manic depressive. He goes, "No, this is suicide." And Reese is like, "Yep, there's definitely no evidence of foul play here. This is suicide."
No, A,
How?
you're a security guard. You're not qualified to make that decision. B, you'll see it wasn't suicide when you realise that she was strangled.
Yeah, strangled and her wrist cut. Like she must have blood bruises all around her neck and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh no, she did that to herself. Classic
Kinky
suicide.
goth sex play, innit? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Um,
This was wanking taken too far.
way too far. Then Natalie and Brenda see Tosh being wheeled away by the paramedics. Um, Paul meets up with Natalie. He wants to ask her about her being friends with Michelle because he's uncovered this. I'm like, how did he uncover this again? Was there a scene where he found this out, or he just heard through the grapevine?
I don't. I think. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, no, there wasn't
It's
a
not
scene. Also, he's
explained, is
like,
it?
I'm just doing my job. It's a student reporter. It's not a job.
You're not even paid for this, probably. It's probably just for vanity. But yeah. And then Natalie maintains that everything going on is a murder, and then they're in the press office talking about this, and Paul's saying, "Look, an urban legend killer is unrealistic." He's like, "Oh, why would all of this happen?" I was like, "Yep, fair points. It might not be linked at all." And then Natalie points out tonight's the 25-year anniversary of the Stanley Hall massacre, and maybe it's a new reason for a killing spree. I was like, "Well, why? Why does it have to be a nice, juicy like number, like a milestone number for all this crap to start happening? What difference does
Yeah,
it make?" Um, and then Paul starts saying, "Oh,
because
this story."
that's what serial killers have, a sense of time. Like,
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
25 years. How can I commemorate? You know what? You know what? I
Yeah,
shall go on another murder spree. I could have done it at 20, but I thought, no, that's blowing your load. I'll go at 25, and we might do a rerun at 30.
yeah, there you go. Paul's going, "No, that story's all bullshit about Stanley Hall Massacre," and Natalie says it's true. And then they go somewhere where there's books, but one of them's missing, but it doesn't go anywhere. They're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
where's that book from 1973?" I was like, "What?" Oh, and later on they're going to find that book with like
Hmm.
some evidence in it. No, no,
But
that's
it's
not
like
followed up again.
The Stanley Hall Massacre isn't true, but it definitely is, and no one has looked into it. Or it's just readily available information in the newspapers, which anyone could check out at any time. You could just go like, oh, did this? Hold on, let me just go and check. Obviously now the internet, but they had the internet there. But like, you could go and check in the library just to look at newspapers from the year it supposedly happened to see if there was a massacre at university. You know what? Yes, there was.
Or
It's not an urban legend or a myth.
or just go down the local police station. Did this happen? Yes.
Yes, we've got that on record. We're not telling you, you nosy kids.
But there you go. Damn pesky kids.
We're under instructions from the stuffy old dean.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. The stuffy old dean doesn't want the reputation of this uni ruined, so some terrible tragedy happened years ago is being kept under wraps. But why?
For
It's
25
bullshit.
years. It's implausible.
And the
But
bloke
don't
killed
ask
himself
questions.
after.
But don't ask questions about the boarded up building.
Exactly. It's what this cake in a year. Like, it didn't happen, but we're not going to do anything about that building that's got blood everywhere all over it.
Why is it boarded up? Mice. It has
Yeah.
mice.
Screaming mice.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then Paul asks that weird janitor how long he's worked here. He's like, too damn long. He's like, what do you know about the Stanley Hall? He's like, oh, that's Wexler. Why?
But also, nothing. Because it happened 25 years ago and the man can only be 35.
Yeah,
Conservatively, he's in his mid 30s. But he is not been working there for 100 years. If you
Yeah,
want that, you need to cast someone in their 70s
yeah,
to be there like, "I
exactly.
don't remember a damn thing, you stupid middling kids."
Yeah,
It's
it's nothing
not a
like
man in
that.
his mid-30s.
Some seedy looking bloke in his mid-30s. Yeah. Um, they're at Wexer's office, but he isn't there. So Paul breaks in using a credit card, and we all know that's an urban legend in itself.
Yeah,
Like,
'cause that don't
that's
fucking
total
work.
bullshit. You cannot open a door with a credit card. God knows I've tried and
I,
snapped many a credit
yeah, I
card.
was gonna say, you know what you're gonna do if you do that? You're gonna break your fucking credit cards. What you're gonna do, and then you try getting the credit card company on the phone. Ain't gonna happen.
Oh, why didn't they just open the door? Like, there's no consequence. Or is it just like, oh no, Wexer's so secret, he keeps his door locked? The fuck?
Also, he's in a building full of students. Of course, he gets his fucking door
Oh
locked.
yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Wexler has a load of weird shit in his office. I've written down, oh, he must be a wrong, and then no, Natalie starts poking around in his cupboards and discovers a Parker coat. Oh no!
The thing is, as we'll come to find out, it's the hot fashion item of the season because everyone's fucking got one.
Absolutely. I was going to say something, but it's probably part of your Smith trivia, so I won't. I won't.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and there's some more weird shit in a secret room, and for some reason there's an axe. I'm like, oh, well, he must be the killer, isn't he? Like,
It's a very
the
clean looking axe as well.
very clean looking
That
axe.
axe has never been used.
Never. He's got a Parker coat. He's got a very clean looking axe. He's got loads of weird shit, and everyone's very suspect about him and Stanley Hall Massacre.
Mm.
Wexler suddenly comes in his office and poor Natalie hide in the secret cupboard, and then he immediately leaves, apparently. But as they emerge, he's standing behind the cupboard. There's something I can help you with.
I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that. The fact that he was just still there, like unimpressed. I also wrote down here: Jared Leto and Olivia Witt have no chemistry
None.
whatsoever.
No.
None. Like
None.
we're meant to believe they're like, oh, I think, well, they won't. There. It's like, I don't give a shit.
No. No, absolutely not. No, Alicia Witt is horribly miscast in this. Jared Leto, he just doesn't look like he can be bothered, but Alicia Witt's awful in
Yeah, I
this.
think Jared Leto, even at this point, knew he's better than this material.
Yeah. Yep. The Dean starts scolding Paul and Natalie, and Wexler proclaims he's done nothing wrong, and that axe is for his folklore lessons. Why do you need an axe for your folklore lessons? You see this axe? This was used to kill people.
And in folklore, they'd used to create wicker men, and to chop down wicker, you'd need an axe. Very much like this one here, for those of you that have never seen an axe before.
Exactly.
Now let me put that down. There we go.
Well, how do you explain that Parker coat, Wexler?
It's
Yeah,
cold.
yeah. It's not though. It's like summer.
I know.
It's so stupid.
Also, I love
The-
this. The Dean's like, I've got your personal file. It's like, why? What are you
from
talking
who?
about? With your criminal record on it. What? Sorry, what?
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's like
That's
when you were at school and he's like, "Will be on your permanent record." It's like, there is no permanent record. What the fuck are you talking about?
yeah. Unless you get arrested, there is no permanent record.
And even then, you can hide it.
Yeah, isn't after X amount of years, like petty crime just gets removed from your
Gets
criminal
expunged.
record?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
There's statute of
yeah.
limitations on these things.
There you go. But yeah, that police wreck which he's got is probation for reckless endangerment. And then Paul is sacked from the uni paper. It's like, it wasn't by me, it was by the editor. I was like, yeah, but it was by you because you probably told the editor to get him sacked. So it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
you arsehole.
He sacked you half an hour ago.
Oh, that stuffy old Dean. Paul asks Natalie about the reckless endangerment, but she doesn't say. And then Paul walks off in a huff. Oh, it's not my career or something. Just walks off. It's just some shitty newspaper thing. It doesn't matter. You can still put it on your CV. Um, we see Brenda swimming on campus. Natalie's
There's a point where somebody says, "Make sure you grab a slicker." Did you hear that line of dialogue?
No.
Someone says, "Make sure you grab a slicker," which is a nod to "I Know What You Did Last Summer" because of the slicker that the killer.
Oh yes, because it's the frat party that evening,
Yeah.
and they're all coming
Yeah,
as
yeah.
like killers and murdered people and whatever
Yeah,
else.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that makes sense. That makes sense. I didn't hear that. That's funny. Brenda's swimming on campus, and Natalie's watching for the gallery for some reason, but suddenly a Parker coat wearing
It's
figure,
so stupid.
and
This
this
bit's so
person
dumb.
is clearly wearing jeans and normal shoes and a Parker coat, and has come walking into the swimming pool. Natalie starts smashing the window with a chair, and the Parker coat figure takes that coat off, and it's just a woman with a swimsuit underneath.
I'm
It doesn't
wearing,
make any sense.
I'm wearing my parka to the pool, as you do. I'm not going to go to the changing room. No, no. Just in the middle of summer, I'm going to wear my parka and my swimming costume. What the fuck are you playing at?
My God. Where were the jeans and the shoes going to go? Just toss them to one side or something.
That's how I swim. Can only swim in my jeans.
Jeans, shoes, and a swimsuit.
It's swimming safety. It's in case you fall into a river at night.
Right, right. It's like when they teach you to swim in your pajamas when you're at school in case like you ever have to save someone with your clothes on. It's like, fuck off.
I fucking wouldn't. I'd let them drown.
Exactly. I'd get my pajamas wet.
I
Right.
can't swim.
There you go. Right. So Brent starts telling Natalie to stop all this urban legend shit, and then we get all this exposition about how she did know Michelle. And once we were in my car and we're driving along and we flashed someone, we done that old legend, and we ended up running this dude off the road and we killed him. I was like,
He was our age. He looked about 40.
and Brenda just goes, "Oh my God." That's the end of that. Right. And then
The courts are lenient with us because we were middle class white girls.
yeah, exactly. I was like, no, you would go to jail for this shit. You would absolutely go to jail. Um, Brenda then urges Natalie to come to that really distasteful frat party tonight. And then that weird janitor comes in to see Paul for his office for some reason. He's sort of looking in through the door. And then Paul just stumbles across a newspaper article about how Wexler was the sole survivor of the Stanley Hall massacre. I was like, who put that
I
newspaper
think that
there?
I think the janitor did. That's the point. The
Ah,
janitor
got
put there, wanted
you.
to make sure he saw it, and was like, just so you know, it was me.
But where did, to what end? Why did the janitor?
To be like, maybe Wexler's killing all these people. That's what the janitor, thinks. It's definitely not me, the janitor. Do you know who it isn't? The janitor.
No, it's definitely not the janitor. But where did he find that newspaper anyway?
He had
What?
it just he had it for insurance.
Fucking hell, this film is so
You should
shit.
see the amount of shit I got on you.
Oh God, I'm
I've got a whole dossier.
gonna go to court one day. Right, in the parking lot. Yeah, in the parking lot, that stuffy old Dean checks the back seat of his car. Wise. And then he's jump scared by Reese, who says they should increase security, and he just dismisses it. And it's really funny. She sort of mouths asshole. Just walks
It's funny when
off.
she was like, "That Damon boy's missing," and he's like, "Oh, he's probably shacked up with a girl or a guy or a farm animal, whatever." It's like,
I'm glad he
what?
followed it up with farm animal. And he just go,
What?
or a boy. You know?
Ugh. Oh,
Yes.
or a farm animal. It's like, what? What are you doing?
And then
What
Reese
is
has a good line. He goes, "Wasn't you ever 18?" He went, "Not that kind of 18." That's funny.
that?
Um, and then immediately after Reese walks off, the Dean's attacked by having his Achilles slashed by the Parker Coat killer.
Luckily, the second she walked out of frame, she couldn't hear anything.
He could do a
She just,
oh
yeah,
or
she's like, oh,
help.
yeah, yeah. No, she left and she left. As soon as she got off screen, she just ran away.
Yeah, or he made to believe maybe it's Reese doing it. I was like, no, it isn't. And
Also, because she'd have had to have left, run around and got under the car.
I put a Parker coat on, and then yeah, instead of not moving out of way of danger, he just keeps crawling forward for some reason.
So
The
all he could
killer,
have done is just lie down and let the car roll over him.
yeah, because the killer takes the handbrake off, so the car ever so slowly rolls towards him. And then he rolls over onto his back for some reason. He goes by the tire damage. And he goes, "Oh no!" It gets impaled on it. Fucking ridiculous.
So when you find out what the killer's admittedly bonkers plan is, why did they kill the Dean?
There is no reason to kill the Dean.
Why?
No, other than to up the body count for this movie, there is no
There's-
reason to kill the Dean.
yeah, if you're trying to mess with someone, why kill someone that they don't even know has been killed?
Yeah, and it's not
Just so
like
she can find the body later and go, "Oh no, the Dean."
exactly.
I didn't really like the Dean. I don't really
The
care
Dean was
about
a
the Dean.
dick. Yeah, I don't know whether it was like, oh well, he deserved to die anyway because he was a bit of an arse. But it's not like the Dean did anything to the killer when we find out. There's nothing with that.
No, that is the same as another person who dies later. Is like, why?
But yeah. Then we get fake thunder and lightning, and that frat party is in full swing, and people are dressed as like murdered students. So this is all really, really poor taste. But all right.
Mm-hmm.
Sasha's unimpressed at the vulgarity of all, although she didn't seem to care earlier, but now she does. Uh, Natalie arrives. She's greeted by Brenda, and Paul's at the party, and he shows Natalie that newspaper clipping about Wex. Like, oh, I told you it was him.
I thought he
And
was
as
off
the
the case.
yeah, exactly, yeah. And as they're discussing Wexler and forming a plan, they start getting off with each other, and Brenda finds them and starts getting quite upset. She was off like,
But also, again, no chemistry. And the Wexler stuff makes no sense whatsoever. So basically, they said there was the massacre at Stanley Hall.
yes,
He was the only survivor.
yes,
To then keep him quiet for a story that's in the paper with his picture,
yeah.
they offer him a job as a teacher. They offer a student a job as a teacher, which, despite the fact he survived a massacre at that school, takes.
And maybe he
If
didn't
I
want to be
was
a teacher.
if I was at a college and everyone apart from me got killed, I would be like, I'd like to get as far away from here as possible, please.
Yes,
I would
absolutely.
never like to come back here. I assume everybody thinks I did it, so I'm going to go now.
I might even leave the country after that. It's just fucked up. Just,
Yeah.
wow. Oh dear, so silly. But yeah, you're quite right. Makes no sense. Um, Reese is searching the spooky old university now and jump
Mm.
scared by that creepy janitor. Don't forget he's creepy.
Creepy Janet is creepy. I've written that down.
Yes, he's very creepy. Reese discovers Wexler's office and sees that it's been trashed, but the Parker coat and the axe is missing. Oh no!
Oh,
And then Reese slips on some blood that she didn't see there before and is really confused. A massive pool of blood.
I thought you were about to find a body, but nope, no, not yet. Um, Also, at this party that they're at, why are one or two? Like, some people are in fancy dress, and some people just are not in fancy dress.
Couldn't be bothered. Hello. Poor students who can't afford costumes.
Is that it with the
Um,
guys like, oh, you hear the scream on the sound? That's actually a real scream. Like, yeah, that is an urban legend. It's also not fucking true.
no, it's like the hanging Munchkin in the Wizard of Oz is
Yeah,
bullshit, or the
there's literally a
ghost in,
crane.
in Three Men and a Baby. It's like, no, it's not true.
Yeah,
All right,
cardboard cut out of Ted Danson.
there you go. Paul tells Parker to end this party as Natalie was right with the theory, and then Parker starts embarrassing Paul in front of everyone and making fun of him, and then starts accusing him of being the killer. And then Paul goes, "Right, I'm gonna go get some help." I was like, "Well, from who exactly?"
Where are you
Reese?
going?
Like,
Also, why is Parker being such a dick? He's such a dick. I hope
such
he
a
does
dick.
die.
Yeah, yeah. There's a few of these people I really did root for. You just get fucking killed.
Yeah,
You dick it. Like Damon earlier on, I really wanted him to
yeah,
get
yeah,
killed. Sasha's decided she's had enough of this party, and then hilariously makes her way to the rain away. God, she goes, why
yeah.
is she acting like that?
Also, she's like, right, I'm off to a separate location so I can get killed.
Yeah,
Bye.
exactly. And at first, I went, why is she doing it? I was like, oh no, it's the late night radio show she does. But yeah, that's absolutely. Let's get separated from this party where I'm probably safer. But no. Yeah, and also, oh no, because they don't believe it, do they? Because if there really was a killer, you wouldn't be doing stupid shit like this, would you? You'd all just huddle together and not go anywhere, or you just go home, like as in real
Yeah,
home. You'd leave the
I'm just gonna.
university and go back home.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Bye, everyone. I'm gonna get a train.
Yeah, yeah. In the daytime with lots of people. Yeah, someone calls Parker. And I'm like, oh, this couldn't possibly be more of a screen rip off of this bit, and it's a male voice. I'm like, are we made to believe this is a male
You
killer
see,
at this
I don't
point, or is
think
it a
it is a
voice
male.
changer?
I think it's a voice changer, and I actually do think it sounds fairly feminine.
Do you think? I think it sounds like
Yeah,
a
a little.
bloke.
No, I think it sounds like a woman doing a deep voice, like hello. It's
Oh,
very.
okay. I didn't get that. I just assumed it was someone with a voice changer. He goes, "Oh, you're going to die tonight," and Parker sees that, oh, it's Damon. So presumably the killer has gone to Damon's room to make this phone call.
No, I reckon the killer has nicked Damon's phone,
Yeah,
Damon's
but
mobile phone.
maybe he doesn't have a mobile phone. Maybe he's just calling
Well, it was the
house
90s.
to house. Yeah, exactly. That's my
Yeah,
point. That's why they've all got pages and shit. I don't think they all had mobile
the
phones
killer's
yet.
got to leg it all the way back over again.
No, but they would have had mobile phones because this was after Scream, and in Scream they had
No,
mobile
wait.
phones.
Weren't Parker and Damon in the same fraternity?
Okay.
So it's
Joe.
probably his. Yeah. So that yeah, because I put down that like, oh, it's coming from inside the house. It must be
Right.
because it's from his room.
From his room. Okay, there you go. There you go. So yeah, he sees it on caller ID. He thinks it's Damon, and Parker starts playing along. He's like, "Oh, is this the one about the babysitter? And have you checked the children?" He goes, "No, this is the legend about the dog in the microwave that the woman cooks." Now, I have seen that in a different movie, and
Mm.
I can't be bothered to get into it. But what is the legend of that? This woman puts her dog in a microwave and one day blew it up. But
No, I
why?
think that it's the woman takes the dog for a walk in the rain, and then to dry the dog off, she puts it in the microwave, thinking it will dry the dog off, but instead it explodes the dog.
That's a shit story. I was like, of course it would. It's not like she's done
Well,
it
yeah, but the
multiple
idea is she's
times.
a doddery old idiot.
Right, right. Okay, got it. And then yeah, and then that dog we got a very brief glimpse of
Yeah.
earlier on is in the microwave. I'm like,
See,
why have you done that?
I remember the dog being in it more because the dog is mentioned earlier. The
Right.
dog is mentioned very early when Damon comes to see Natalie in her room. That he's going to give the dog a nose piercing. That is mentioned very brief. But then I remember having seen the dog more. But no, you see a very brief glimpse of that dog.
Yeah, it's got like a funnel in its mouth to do like a beer trick or something like
Yeah.
that. That's it. Yeah, and Parker's all upset and he goes to be sick in the toilet, and then the killer starts bog washing him and then tied him down, forces him to eat popping candy and a cleaning product. Oh, okay, so that's kind of a loose
But that's
soda,
not really.
popping
Yeah,
candy.
that's not really. That's not caustic soda. Oh, caustic soda. There it is.
The soda. There you go.
No.
That was probably the nastiest way to go out of all of them. Like, oh God, that would be
That would
awful.
be horrible. Also, I don't think it'd be that quick.
Nah, and
I think you'd be there for minutes,
burning all your
burning
insides
from the
out. Everything.
inside out.
Ah, horrible, horrible. Reese is calling the cops after finding blood everywhere, but the cops don't care for some reason. Like, why is it that whenever someone's saying a legitimate emergency, cops don't seem to care?
The police are like, we're really busy due to the storm. You can't arrest the storm.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a bunch of cops firing their guns at the wind.
Yeah, that really fake-looking storm that's going on outside. Sasha's on the radio station talking about sex again, and for some reason her show's being broadcasted to that frat party. Like,
Yeah,
why is her show being broadcast to the frat party?
I put that. Yes, tell them to listen to talk radio.
Good God. Yeah, they were listening to some banging tunes. And no, let's just let her talk to people about sex. Weird. In the background, we see that shirtless assistant is being killed very unceremoniously, and then the line is
Not
cut
a
to a
single
broadcast.
line of dialogue.
Not one. And then the killer with an axe is trying to get Sasha, and then she starts running for her life. And then because it's all being live broadcast, because she's still wearing her microphone, some douchey bloke was like, "Oh, this is performance art." I was like, "Wait, what?
Shut
What are you
up.
talking about?" Oh,
Someone's getting murdered.
she's pretending to do it because it's the 25-year anniversary. Shut up, mate. That's not what's happening.
No, she certainly wouldn't be happening on a talk radio show about sex.
No, no, certainly not. Natalie's making her way to the radio station to help, and then Natalie injures herself when she falls off between steps, and then she takes a lift to go back upstairs, but and hides in a room. And Reese starts hearing Sasha's screams on the radio in the car. Yeah, like we mentioned earlier. I was like, how far away was she?
Oh, so why is she listening to it?
Yeah, I like sex. Yeah. Sasha sees Natalie enter the building, but it's too late because the killer's found Sasha and hacks at a death with an axe, which we don't see, I might add. You just see like the axe coming down, but you don't actually see.
Yeah, you don't see her die. It's very
No,
weird.
no, you don't see the body or anything. You see like a hand later on, but there's no blood
Yeah,
or
until
anything.
Reese gets there and sees the body. And I was like, is she dead?
Yeah. And then the killer gives a little wave to Natalie from the room above. Then Natalie finds Paul at his dorm and tells him Sasha's dead, but then she starts questioning where Paul went. Oh, we made to believe Paul's the killer now, and apparently now the phone lines are dead because of the rain or some shit. I was like, wait, what?
Storm. Nah, whatever.
Whatever. They run into Brenda who joins them, and then Reese finds his Sasha's dead body, and then she starts trying to calm the Dean. Start trying to calm the Dean. No, I've written that down wrong. That's not what happens.
Dean's dead, mate.
Yeah.
Stuffy old Dean.
Okay, forget that. Forget I said that. Yeah. Paul, Brenda, and Sasha start driving along in Paul's car, and they can smell something really bad. I just read it, but someone's farted, isn't it? And then I missed this the first time round. The second time, I was like, "Why are they care that something smells bad?" I was like, "Oh yeah, I see what's coming."
Oh, okay.
They stop at a gas station, goes inside, and Brenda says, "Oh, you and Paul should be together." And then they start like hugging and shit. I was like, "Wait,
It's
what?"
It's not the time. People are dead. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, why are you having this conversation now? It
It's so
doesn't make any
weird.
sense.
Doesn't make any sense. And then we hear Wexler's pager because we heard it right at the start of the movie when he was in the uni lecture. And then, still upset by the smell, they open the boot of the car and they find Wexler's dead body inside. Why?
Was that-
Why was Wexler killed? What did he do?
It doesn't make any sense. That's the other one. It's like him and the Dean. Why have you killed them? I mean, why did you kill any of them? It doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Just to keep narrowing down who is it to keep you guessing. Because I suppose
Yeah.
at this point, even when I watched it as a kid, I didn't really work out who the killer was. I was convinced it was Wexler. And then when he's dead, I was like, shit, who is the killer? So there
It
you
is
go.
quite hard to see it coming.
Yeah,
It's there enough, but it's not cheating. Like, I've seen films where
it's not cheating.
here's the killer. It's like, oh, fuck off, that's cheating.
Yeah, like My Bloody Valentine really cheats. Yeah.
Well, My Bloody Valentine cheats and then doesn't make any sense.
No.
No. Wait, no, I'm thinking of Valentine. My Bloody Valentine cheats, really cheats.
Yeah. Valentine just doesn't make sense.
Valentine just doesn't make. Yeah, anyway.
Yeah. Then they realise, oh, it's probably Paul. He's in the gas station. They assume he's the killer. So they run off into the woods and they get separated for some reason. I don't know why.
Sure, I think Brenda falls over. And
Oh, right.
Natalie does not stop.
No. And then we just hear Brenda screaming. And then Natalie waves down a car and it's that weird janitor.
Creepy janitor is creepy.
He gets in, he goes, there's a coat in the back. The Parker coat.
Everyone's got one.
Why
They
did
were
you
on-
tell her there's
they
a
were-
coat in the bag? He's like, all right.
Because it's raining. She's cold and maybe. Also,
Oh my
also
God.
maybe they were on special. Like everyone's got one because they had a job, a lot of them. It's like middle of summer. Do you need a Parker? It's £5.
There you go. Oh my God. So fucking funny. Then she starts freaking out because she's seeing this coat, but all the doors are locked. And
He's
then a
like,
car.
it won't open from the inside. It's like, I mean, that's. I mean, even if you're not the killer, that's quite creepy.
Yeah, that is. He's like, what's wrong with you?
It's like you are weird.
Really weird. You've locked them in. And then a car starts driving towards them without its lights on, and the silly ass flashes it, so now it starts giving chase. Like, oh God, creepy janitor.
this
What'd you
is-
do that for?
This is where we know that it's not Jared Leto, because we've already been told that it's Jared Leto. And so we're to believe if it is him, he's put the parka back on
Yeah,
to hide his face, despite the fact we've already been told that it's him. So this far,
exactly.
it can't be him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He runs him off the road, and I presume the janitor's dead. He doesn't look that dead. He just kind of looks knocked out, but I think he's dead.
I read on Wikipedia that he's dead, which
Yeah,
seems unfair. He was just trying to help.
exactly. Another one who shouldn't have died.
Yeah, no.
He's one of the ones who doesn't die by an urban. Oh no, he does die by an urban legend because they got run off the road for the initiation. So there you go. There you go.
Is the Dean an urban legend?
Yeah, I could. Yeah, apparently I read the slashing of someone's Achilles under a car is an urban legend. I'm like,
Right,
oh.
Wexler. Wexler's not an urban legend.
No, he just gets hacked up
He
in his
gets killed
office.
off.
Yeah,
He gets
yeah.
killed off screen. Yeah.
There you go. So that's not an urban legend.
Neither is Tari. That's not an urban legend either.
Yeah, you're quite right.
She just stalked and killed. There's like that's it's these film kills people by urban legend when it's convenient, and when it's
Yeah,
not, doesn't bother. Although, is it
exactly.
meant to be like hearing her over the radio is the urban
Yeah, it
legend? But
might have
that's
been that.
fucking tenuous.
That's a stretch. Yeah. Natalie crawls out the window, runs away, and Reese is back at her office and gets her gun. And I've put down, did she have a gun already? Wasn't there a scene earlier on when she was walking around with a gun? And she just got back, I'm gonna get a bigger gun.
I need two guns.
Yeah. Actually, yes, there is two guns. Yes. Natalie tries getting help on emergency phone, but no help. And then Brenda's screams can be heard from Stanley Hall. I'm like, oh, the fucks. And then Natalie climbs into that shithole building and then starts following Brenda's screams. And then she goes into room 292 for some reason. And then the door shuts and locks behind her. Like, why did the door lock behind her? It's not like some Saw elaborate setup. It's just a room.
It's just the killers there like lock.
But the killer wasn't. The killer was further in. Um, yeah,
Maybe they
inside.
ran around.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. Inside various cupboards around the room, Natalie discovers all the people have been killed in this film. So this is so stupid. Like Joshua Jackson's like hung from a closet. The Dean is in a bed and all that.
How did the killer get them all there?
Exactly. Dragged them up all those stairs without anyone seeing. And also Joshua Jackson looks quite fresh, even though he was killed a few days ago.
He'd be on the mank by this point.
Horrible.
It's clearly referencing Halloween because it's the bit at the end of
Yeah,
Halloween
yeah,
where she
yeah.
goes in the house and all the dead bodies are knocking around, even to the bit where we see Brenda, Deborah,
Yeah, Brenda.
Brenda,
Brenda.
on the bed looking like, um,
Judith Myers or what?
yeah, no,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Annie Brackett.
Annie Brackett by
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
headstone
Yeah, Judith Myers.
yeah, Judith Myers, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And then she makes her way into a candlelit room, sees Brenda on a bed who's dead, but wait, no, she isn't, and knocks out Natalie. And then Natalie awakens to see Brenda wearing a parka coat. I'm like,
Dun, dun,
oh, she's
dun.
the killer. So she gives a
Are
big
we
load.
to believe that the killer, when wearing the parka coat, has also been wearing something to cover their face?
Yes, I saw this. So they're kind of wearing like a balaclava thing where you can only see like one eye. So in the car, when
Okay.
the killer's driving along, you can clearly see they've got like a big black balaclava thing. So yes, yeah, it's not really
Okay.
dark inside that park, and you
Yeah,
can't
no,
see.
ooh.
Yeah. And then we get a big load of exposition that why she's the killer, because it turns out Natalie and Michelle, that dude they ran off the road, that was actually Brenda's high school boyfriend, and they were going to get married, and it ruined her life or some shit. And this whole scene is unintentionally hilarious. It's
Oh,
hilarious.
Rebecca Gayheart is swinging for the fences with her performance here. She is overacting. Like she is not only chewing the scenery, she's like put salt and pepper on it, got a knife and
My
fork out, it's just
God.
going to town.
It's
It is.
fucking woeful. It's so bad.
Oh, it's great.
And repeatedly keeps on saying Natalie, like Natalie, 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 Natalie.
And then calls her Miss Thang. It's like, hey.
And then she goes to cut out Natalie's kidney, a la that old urban legend about a kidney being cut out and sold on the black market and stuff. She goes, oh, I don't think that ever happened, but I'm going to do this. It's like, none of these urban legends happened. What are you talking about?
all the rest
Um,
of them true. This one, well, they're all real now.
but yeah, exactly. That's what she says. Reese starts making her way to Stanley Hall for some reason, and she sees the light all boarded up in the window. She's like, oh, there must be something going on in there. And then Brenda says she's going to frame Wexler so she can get away with it. And then Brenda
How would that
arrives.
work?
I don't. Then it's a bit like that in Scream as well. They're like, "Oh, we're the only two survivors, and Sydney's dad did it." Yeah, like the cops ain't gonna believe that. And I've always wondered that in film, innit? When you save the day and you have to explain to the cops, well, I shot that guy in the head because he was going to stab me. Like, really?
Were you going to stab him and then you shot him instead?
Sure, that's what happened. Um, Yeah, and as Brenda starts cutting into Natalie, Reese arrives and starts helping her, but then Brenda slashes at Reese. There's a big old hoo-ha, and that sort of thing, and they're shot and blah blah blah. Brenda starts pointing the gun at Reese and then saying that old Paul will believe her and he'll be my lover. We'll run off together and some shit. None
Which
of
like
this is
doesn't
going
make
to
any
happen.
sense with it. Which doesn't make any sense with the rest of her motivation.
No, no, it doesn't. And then Paul arrives and starts sort of playing along, but Brenda ain't buying it. And then this bit's so fucking funny. She points the gun at both and goes, starts going, eeny, meeny, miny. And then Reese away goes, Mo, and shoots him. And then she goes, collapses again.
Reese is fucking useless.
Yeah, hilarious, but useless. Um, then what happens? Then there's some other bullshit, and then Natalie shoots Brenda, and she falls out a very tall window
Mhm.
to the ground.
There's a lot of
Instead,
Halloween nods. There's a lot of Halloween's nods
a
here.
lot. Yes, there are. Um, then Paul and Natalie tend to Reese, but then they drive off and leave them. And oh, don't worry, the paramedics are on the way. And I've written down, why have you left her? Why
There's
don't you just
also,
wait with her until the
and where are
paramedics
you
get there?
going? And there's a bit where Paul says to her, "Are you all right?" She goes, "No." Well, obviously fucking not. Don't ask
Yeah, I'm
stupid
just
questions, you
handy,
dickhead.
mate.
Yeah, I'm great. Yeah, 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 I'm all right. Yeah, yeah. It's been a bit of a long night, but you know, mostly
Fucking
intact.
hell. And then they discuss about what happened, and he goes, "Oh, this is an urban legend. Where's the big twist?" Oh, we already had the big twist. It was Brenda, like that. And then Brenda's in the back of the car again, completely implausible. How is she in the back of the car with an axe? She's trying to kill him, but
How
then
long has she
Paul,
been there? Also, is Wex's body still back there?
oh god, that's gonna double stink. Yeah, and then tries to kill Natalie, but Paul manages to crash the car. That sends Brenda out the windshield, over the bridge, and into the water below. And then we watch her seemingly lifeless body sail away. I was like, that wouldn't kill her. Just falling in a, unless she fell on a load of rocks or something. Why would just her falling in the river kill her?
Just floating away, floating
Slowly,
away.
slowly. Instead of doing anything about it, they just assume, oh, well, she's probably dead then. And then
Now
they
let's continue
embrace.
our car journey to wherever the fuck we were going. Like you've left an active crime scene. Like you don't get in a car and drive off. It looks very suspicious. And if
Yeah,
Reese
Reese
dies,
might
I think he
dies.
might he might be culpable of manslaughter,
Exactly.
or at least criminal negligence.
None of it makes any sense. Then we cut to a college uni at Ashton now, not Pendleton, and some dude's telling a story about everything we've just watched over the last 90 minutes, and none of the groups believe it. And the camera pans round, and we see that Brenda is alive with a new haircut, and she says, "This is how the story really goes." And we get credits, and I've written down,
So,
"Fuck me."
so three things at the end there. One, well, four things. One, this group of friends has a black guy in it. He actually has a line of dialogue. Two, what is the girl in the pink top wearing? She looks fucking ridiculous. And three, oh, they say, oh, I heard it was the girl in the Noxzema commercial, which Rebecca Gayheart was the girl from the Noxzema commercials in the US. So that is true. And um, there is something to be said at the end of this that everything we've seen that doesn't make any sense or is silly is because it's being told by somebody else. So it is
Ah,
an
okay.
urban legend in its unreliable telling. So how could she string Joshua Jackson up like that? She couldn't. That's not really how it actually happened. It's how the story's been told.
Oh, so the reason why we've just watched a really shit film for the last 90 minutes is because of the way it's been told.
Yeah, well, exactly, right. Also, I did wonder, like, with this, where she explains her plot, there's two big problems with her evil scheme. One, why is she taking it out mainly on the girl that wasn't driving? Surely, if you're going to torment someone, it should be the person who was driving,
Mhm.
and the girl in the passenger seat should have been the one that got killed first. But maybe they thought that would make her too unlikable as a lead.
Yeah, yeah.
Second, when they kill Joshua Jackson and she's like attacking her, why does this always happen in these films where people are like their plot revolves around one person, but they attack that person quite early on? It's
Yeah, they
like,
do that in Scream as well,
yeah,
don't they?
you
Yeah.
wouldn't, you because you don't want to kill them. If you kill them now, then you that's it, you're all done. Your end game's done. No, you just killed her. All right, and everybody else would have lived.
But that'd be a shit film. If the end game is that one person, you never ever tried to attack them, why would you care about that one person? So you do
You
need
let
those scenes
them,
where they almost
yeah,
get
I
away.
suppose, which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, logically it doesn't make any sense. Cinematically, it makes perfect sense.
Hmm.
So
Anyway.
there you go. Right, so that was Urban Legend. So
Mm.
let's rewind back. We watched it on video rental when we were like 14, 15. What did we love and or hate about it back then?
It was a slash film, and I love slash films.
Yeah, same.
I love
It,
Scream. I loved I Know What You Did Last Summer. I loved all of those films at the time. So it's like just another one of them.
yeah, exactly. It was just that time after Scream, they just kept getting churned out in
Yeah,
droves, didn't they? I know it did
and
last summer. It's a bit more slick, but the rest of just started getting trashier and trashier and
yeah,
trashier, didn't they?
it's very much a formula and a tried and tested formula. It's sort of like this is a weird gimmick, popular young actors, kill them off one by one, mystery about who the killer is, wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. And the thing is, as well, I mentioned it earlier, I love ghost stories,
Mm.
love urban legends, and this was an interesting twist. It's a film about someone reenacting that and killing them. It's like, oh, it's not just a killer for no reason doing it. It's a little bit of a, its own thing. But
Yeah,
I don't know what it was. I didn't love this when I was a kid. Like,
really.
well, a kid, a teenager. Like, I watched it. I was just kind of, yeah, it's fine. The big reveal I thought was a bit stupid. It was a nice twist that it was a girl doing it. I was like, okay, I was convinced it was going to
Hmm.
be Robert Englund doing it. And even when he was dead, I was like, well, it must be Jared Leto then. So the big reveal that it's actually Brenda, Rebecca Gayheart doing it. I was like, oh, okay, cool. But yeah, I just didn't dig this. Like in some way, I kind of preferred the sequel, Urban Legends Final Cut, which is a blatant rip off of Scream 3.
Yes, and I do quite like the sequel.
Yeah, it's
The first
fun.
one. I've never seen the third one.
No, it's called Bloody Mary, which I think it's about the Stanley Hall massacre with Bloody Mary haunting the uni or some shit. I was
Yeah,
like,
it's actually supernatural.
oh, ugh, no, 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 no. Um, yeah, no, I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. It's one of those films that I remembered all of this. I think I've only seen this a couple of times, but I remembered all of it as I was
Yeah.
watching it. Maybe because it's just so simple, like nothing major happens in this, does it?
No,
Um,
nothing. Yeah, I remembered it. I mean, I think I probably saw it last maybe 10 years ago, perhaps.
wow.
I
I
own it on DVD somewhere.
I don't. I watched this on Netflix, thank God. I didn't pay any
Ah,
money
okay.
for it.
Then I watched on Netflix this time, yeah.
I think the last time I probably watched it, inverted commas, was when there was a kill count on it. They covered all of the urban legends, so I watched it. I was like,
Mm.
oh, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. But no, I wasn't hugely impressed when I watched it as a kid. It's just another one, but it was memorable. There's a lot of those movies. I can't remember what's happened. I can't remember who gets killed in Valentine. Actually, no, I can remember a few who gets killed in Valentine. But stuff like Cherry Falls, stuff like that, they're instantly
Yeah, oh,
forgettable.
good Lord, I forgot about Cherry Falls. I saw Valentine last a few years back, and that film is awful.
It's not
Awful.
very good.
Same director.
Yes, funny enough.
Yeah,
There you go. All right. What do we love and or hate about it now?
I like slash films too.
Yeah, that's its
Um,
only redeeming quality. It's just a dumb movie where you just watch people
yeah,
getting killed. That's all it is.
it is what slasher films are, and it is a very pure version of it. Now, it's made that mistake, which a lot of them did around this time, as I said earlier, of making all the characters very unlikable, which I
Yeah.
hate as a trope. It's like, if you made these characters likable, it'll be a better film.
Yes, totally.
And they don't really have characters as
No.
much. Although I watched a film the other night called Tarot. I don't know if you've seen Tarot. It's one of
No, I've
these
heard of it. Not watched it though.
supernatural Blumhouse-esque films where a group of teens find a set of tarot cards and tell each other's fortunes, and they start dying in the manner of their fortunes.
Oh, doesn't that have? Oh, there's someone really famous in it who has a really good kill. He gets like stabbed in the face or something at a dinner table. Or am I thinking about another movie?
Yeah, you're thinking of a different film. You're thinking of a different film.
Okay.
I don't
Okay,
know what
cool.
film you're thinking of. This has got Jacob Batalon, who is Ned from the Spider-Man films, is in this. He's the most famous person you'd
Oh,
recognize.
yes, I know what you're talking about. That only came out
Yeah.
recently, didn't it?
Yeah, it was on Sky Movies the other night. I watched it late night on Friday, and
Oh,
it was absolutely terrible.
is it really? Oh, I'm watching that.
Awful. Like this, these characters are unlikable, but at least they're characters.
Right.
In the basest sense possible, they've each got a trope. The ones in Tarot have no distinguishing features. You could literally move the lines from one character to the other, and it wouldn't make a blind bit of fucking difference. Like these characters are badly written and shallow, but at least they're different. You know who's who. Um, yeah, and so this is, I mean, this passed the time. It was exactly the film I remembered it being. It's exactly the film that it should be. I don't think it should be anything else than a silly slasher film.
Yep. All right
How
then.
about you?
It's crap. It's a silly slasher fit. Like what have I written down about what I hated about it? I think we've covered it already. Like the woeful acting, the obnoxious characters. All the characters are undeveloped. But I mean, there is stuff I do like. Like that opening is great. The opening is
Hmm.
really good. I do
Yeah,
like
the
the.
opening is really strong.
I really do like the cameos in it. I like the Robert Englund's in it. I like the Brad Dourif is in it.
The kills are all quite good as
The
well,
the kills are good. I'll give you
which is
that.
what you want, right? If you want decent kills, and the twist is quite fun, and Rebecca Gayheart, called Lover, is really going for it in that last 10 minutes. Doesn't make a lick of sense.
No.
The other thing that's interesting, I think, is that this film wouldn't work now because urban legends don't work anymore. Because you can easily just pop on the internet and go, no.
Yeah.
Like back when we were young, back around like this time, someone tells you a story, you are more inclined to believe it.
Yeah, especially when they
Um,
start going, no, 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 I know the dude who it happened to, or
yeah,
that
yeah,
sort
yeah,
of
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
You
yeah.
believe it. I mean, you don't really believe it because obviously not true. Like, or humans can lick too. It's like, oh, shut
Yeah.
up. That never fucking happened. Don't be silly.
But it's just it's like creepy pasta, isn't it? It's really like,
Yeah.
ugh, it just gets under your skin hearing a
Whereas
story
now
like that. Yeah.
it doesn't work because if someone says, oh, I know this happened, you look it up and go, no, that's a movie when a stranger calls.
Yeah. Although it is scary when someone does tell you a scary story, you look up and it has happened. You're like, oh fuck, yeah, that is really
Yeah.
scary. Like the whole Elisa Lam thing. When you told me
Don't
that,
be. Oh, yeah, yeah,
that really shit me up. And I looked it up, I was like, oh fuck, that did happen. That's really
yeah.
scary. That's really
But then you look into
scary.
what actually happened and it's just sad.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Um, yeah, I look it up. Go, no, there was no Jimmy Savile. What's that?
oh,
Oh,
yeah.
now then.
No, no. Right, Smith trivia. What you got?
Bit of trivia. Not a lot actually. There's not a lot out there for this, and it's all. A lot of the trivia that I could find was just like, this is the make of car they were driving. I'm like, I don't care. Uh, so on a budget of 14 million, this grossed 72.5, so it was a fairly modest hit,
Mhm.
which is why I got its sequel. Which I did see the sequel at the cinema. I
Me
did see
too.
that at the cinema. I have never seen the third one. The director was Jamie Blanks, who subsequently went on to direct Valentine, a film called Storm Warning in 2007, and a film called Long Weekend in 2008.
Hmm.
That's it. That's his grand directorial career. I think he's done a bit of TV stuff as well. So the story behind him getting this is that he'd done like a student film. He's Australian, had done a student film and wanted to get the job directing Scream,
Mm.
but didn't because obviously Wes Craven got it. And then a manager of his sent him the script to I Know What You Did Last Summer, which doesn't make any sense. And then he filmed a fake trailer for I Know What You Did Last Summer and sent it to the studio. And they said, oh, well, we can't give you that because we've already signed on someone, but we'll give you Urban Legends. This all sounds a bit weird. I don't think it sounds particularly true.
Right.
Um, but yeah, so anyway, then he got Urban Legend. It was written by a guy called Silvio Horta, who basically did this and then some TV,
Hmm.
and that was it. So, I mean, the creative teams behind this have not done that much. In terms of trivia, Danielle Harris, as we said, who was previously in Halloween as a youngster, um, was a smoker when she started this film and was really glad that she got to play a character who could smoke on screen. However, the repeated takes of having to smoke constantly meant that she ended up giving up smoking as a result because it made her quite sick. Um, the killer's costume is a parka because it was originally meant to be set at winter.
That makes
They then
much more
realized,
sense.
yeah, they then realized that having fake snow in all of their outside scenes would be difficult and costly. So went, fuck it, let's make it summer, but just kept the cut parka because they thought it was cool. Have you
That's
seen the costume in the sequel is like a leather coat and a fencing mask?
yeah, yeah. I don't know why
Doesn't
they
make a lot of
just
sense either.
why did they just keep the same outfit from the first one?
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Sarah Michelle Gellar was apparently cast as Sasha, but dropped out due to conflicts with Buffy. Reese Witherspoon, Melissa Joan Hart, and Jennifer Love Hewitt apparently all turned down the role of Natalie, but I don't know how much I believe any of that.
Mm.
As we mentioned earlier, there was the Dr. Breen that was written on the bottle of pills. We will also note that the Encyclopedia of Urban Legends that she reads is written by Charles Breen.
Oh.
The production designer was Charles Breen.
Oh.
So he just put his own name on everything. It's not a particularly fun bit of trivia, but after this film, some years after this film, Rebecca Gayheart, playing the killer whose boyfriend was killed in a driving accident, actually ran over and killed a 9-year-old.
Oh God.
Yeah, not a fun bit of trivia that, but something that did happen.
That's probably why she wasn't in much after this film.
Mm. Now, the Latin motto, have you seen this? The Latin motto of the university?
No.
Amicum optimum factum.
Right.
Do you know what that means?
No.
The best friend did it. So when
Oh.
you see the Latin motto of the school on the shield, it's actually giving the end away.
So if you
If
can
you
speak
speak,
Latin,
if
yeah.
you can speak Latin, which I can not.
No, we didn't get taught
I
that at
read
our
that
school.
online. That is all of the trivia I have for this. Actually, there was very little to come by. I don't know if you found anything else.
No, pretty much everything I've found is what you've just said.
Ah,
There you go. Right then, the final verdict. Does it hold up?
yes,
Really?
yeah, it's great.
No.
It's shit. It's a shit slash film, but I love shit slash film, so I'm never gonna can't hate on this.
That's crap.
Happily watch this again at some point.
Yeah, that's the problem. I'd probably watch this again as well, but it's still crap. It's not one.
It's got nostalgia. It's got this nostalgic feel to it. It's just like, yay.
But anyway, I don't understand why you don't like I Know What You Did Last Summer. Like, for
It's
me, that's
boring.
a far superior film. Far
Well,
superior.
I haven't seen that in a long time, to be fair. But as I recall, I Know What You Did Last Summer is boring because it has about one kill at the beginning, one kill in the middle, then one kill at the end, and that's it. I was like, I don't want that from a slash film. I want people getting killed on average every 5 to 6 minutes.
Yeah, but I Know What You Did Last Summer is more of a mystery, like what's going on, trying to unravel it, and it is heavily
Well,
invested in the characters.
I think to a degree that it missells itself as a slasher because as a slasher it doesn't work because there's too much space going on between it. Whereas what I want
Yeah.
is like this: someone dies at the beginning, get a little bit of a break, then someone else dies, a little bit of a break, and someone else dies,
Yeah, I
and then
suppose.
you have a bit at the end where a couple more people die in quick succession. Big reveal: oh, it's the killer! Yay! Let's move on to the next one.
Well, by that logic, you wouldn't like Halloween. There's like only three people get killed, and that's really spaced out. So
Yeah, but that's really well written.
yeah, yeah. But so does I Know What You Did Last Summer. You actually care about the characters. They've all got their personalities. They've all got their motivations. But yeah, that's why I think it's a better film. But yeah, if you just want a dumb, stupid movie, then Urban Legend is right up your alley.
And I often do.
There you go. All right. I mean, there are worse ones. I mean, Valentine's dog shit. It's worse than this. But yeah.
Yeah, I need to go back and watch Cherry Falls. I haven't seen it in years.
Yeah, isn't it about a killer who kills virgins or some shit?
Yeah, yeah,
Something
yeah.
like that. Yeah, that's it. Right then, next episode's nomination. Now, Smith, I am going to do something we have promised to do since the inception of this podcast, and we haven't
Ooh,
done it yet. We are going to cover a cartoon.
ooh,
So
I
we,
like cartoons.
yeah, we've done a couple of TV shows. So I'm going to be a bit more specific. A cartoon TV show. And what I've asked to say to you, what only happens when it's raining?
Thunder,
And what do dogs fight with?
thunder,
What do dogs fight with?
cats.
Yes, yes. We are going to cover Thundercats because aside from an absolutely epic intro, I'm not convinced that cartoon is any good.
Bum, bam, 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 bam.
It's an epic, epic, epic intro, but yeah, I don't actually remember enjoying the cartoon all that much. So yeah, I think that's something we're going to go back and revisit for our next episode. Our first
Ooh.
cartoon, we will do the same thing. We will cover 2 episodes, so it might end up being a shorter episode of our podcast. But yeah, we'll cover 2 episodes of the cartoon Thundercats. I'm not sure how many series they were. I'll have to do my research on that. So
30. Probably it's probably one of those things where there was like two.
yeah, but it will be
Um,
80s Thundercats. It won't be any like revamps they've done or whatever. It will be the proper one from our childhood that we do.
yeah, 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 yeah.
There we go. Cool. Right. Just want to plug our socials before we get out of here. So you can reach us on email at it doesn't hold up podcast at gmail.com. We're on Instagram at it doesn't hold up podcast. We're on Twitter, or X as it's now known, at doesn't hold up pod. We are on YouTube at it doesn't hold up podcast. And we are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all other good places you listen to podcasts. So, do give us a good review, like us, follow us, share us, talk about us, whatever. And remember, we do
Don't talk
welcome
about
all.
me.
Yeah, don't talk about Smith, but do send your hate mail to him. And yeah, I remember we welcome all suggestions for things for us to cover. Right, so Smith, is there anything else you would like to say on Urban Legend before we get out of here and regroup for Thundercats?
Yes. Aren't you glad you didn't turn on the podcast?
And I just want to say to you, have you checked the children?